as well. Pog Champ.
Don't be scared.
Champ Pog.
Can't believe you just said that.
What can you believe?
I believe in Santa.
I do too.
I mean, you are 5.
Listen, my dad is Santa, okay? I've seen him.
What are you implying?
My father is a large, jolly, fat man. And he is so precious and wholesome, and I love him. I love my dad, okay?
Your father is Chewbacca?
No, my dad is Santa Claus. My father is a very round, jolly man with a large white beard, and you're gonna try to tell me he's not? No.
She's got a point, you know.
Oh, we're already rolling nice and good here, huh? Very nice.
Yeah. Would you expect anything less?
No.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I could expect more, that's for certain. 5-minute timer is running.
Champ.
Lasted getting, like, yeah, I poured hot water all over my left hand, which was hilarious.
Oh, that does not sound hilarious.
I mean, it wasn't my favorite thing to have done, but, you know, everybody does their thing.
We don't judge kinks here.
I would certainly like to be judged if my thing were to pour boiling water over my left hand. Episode of a Call of Cthulhu TTRPG. Please spell things correctly.
You got wrong. I think I did that wrong.
There we go. Social medias are in the process of going up.
Don't forget to tell people to like and subscribe and to ring the bell.
Wrong site. God.
You're right.
A long time since I have had to dedicate so much of my time to YouTube. In a previous life, I had like a channel with like almost 7,000 subscribers.
Oh, yeah?
I'm glad I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Was there an OBS update recently? I noticed my audio mixer seems different than usual.
There was an OBS update.
I hope it doesn't become a problem.
I mean, it didn't seem like it was that big of an issue when I went through with it. So we'll see whether it actually is a problem. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the timer.
That is just enough time for me to take my meds. Hold! Let's go!
Pog. Wait until the last minute.
Hey, listen.
I can't judge.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Hey, at least you're taking them.
Yeah, it is very true.
The important part.
Unlike me, who forgets so often.
Imagine taking meds.
Wow.
Imagine being. Couldn't be me.
Who's being? Someone
For real, for real. Someone's a real human being.
Be me.
Oh my god.
Couldn't be me.
Amogus.jpg. Boy, oh boy. My keyboard is a German keyboard, but I have it set to the like American layout. So where my colon key should be, there's a capital O with an umlaut on it. Like there's a whole bunch of that biz, and I keep just like mistyping. But I've had it this way for 3 years. You'd think that I'd be better at this by now.
Your hands yearn for the American style keyboard.
The children yearn for the mines. Okay.
By the way, Cross, what is
Oh.
your Twitch channel? Because I found a Cross guard, but I'm not sure it's the same person.
Oh, sorry. It's cross-planar cleric.
Okay. Let me update that then.
He's doing it now.
Yeah.
I did not
sorry.
make that connection until just now. I'm so slow. I'm so sorry, Cross. I was like, ooh, a cross. How many crosses do I know? Like 5. That's why. We're the only one.
Cross
Yeah,
planar
actually,
cleric.
cross-guarded came first because I like 12th Night. But then people called me Cross for short, and then it became a thing.
Is this you over here? I'm posting a Cthulhu.
Is this you? Posts a photograph of like a lemur or something.
Probably.
There's like a picture. The avatar is like, I don't.
Yeah, that's me.
Some
Sorry,
eldritch thing.
I haven't
Okay.
done much there at all, by which I mean almost nothing.
2, 1, and... Now then, let's get started, shall we? And then I click on the thing that does this, and it brings everyone around. Hi, everyone. We are doing the thing. Look at that. Hey, we're actually doing it. We're working. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to class today. I hope that everyone is doing great. I will definitely disable the crowd control widget, which is not supposed to be up right now. Thank you for that. But yes, excellent. Of course, if you are here for the first time, excellent. Hello, my name is Cosmo Bergamot. I am the Dean of the School of Conjuration here at the Temevelt Royal Academy for the Metaphysical Arts. And I am joined today by 4 of my wonderful colleagues and students for the first episode of a 4-shot Call of Cthulhu game. And how nice is that? Let's go ahead and do some... the thing where you tell who you are. Introduction, that's the word I'm looking for. Boy, am I on... I'm on the rails today. Let's start over with Nano. Nano, who are you and what do you do?
Oh my gosh. What do I do? My name... Asking the real questions. My name is Nano. I am a cyber digital type fairy VTuber. I have lately been streaming a bunch of comfy games. I draw, at least I try to. And I don't know what I do half the time. I just kind of wing it.
Now that's a mood of all time.
That seems to track. Yeah, no reason why not. Well, excellent. I'm glad to have you back, Nano. The last time that you were here, we were doing the Pokemon game show thing, weren't we?
Yeah.
I look forward to you bringing that same sort of energy to our work today.
Right,
Oh,
you
excellent.
asked for it.
Looks directly at the camera, despairs. Next up, how about you, Lulz? Who are you and what do you do?
I'm Lulz, the meme poster AI VTuber. I mostly do cyberpunk stories, or not cyberpunk stories. I usually play a lot of cyberpunk video games and fighting games. I also do a lot of collabs and do a lot of shitposting, and that will be pretty much my curse for this stream.
I'm looking forward to it. It was, in fact, Lulz who was so gracious as to give me the copy of Guilty Gear that I intended to play yesterday. But then things happened and I was not able to. That being said, Lulz, I've got my fight stick working a little better this time around. So maybe we can have a little type of conversation where I play as an 8-foot tall lanky gentleman with a bag over my head.
Oh dear God.
Oh
by
boy.
by all means, let's go.
I'm looking forward to it. How about you, Miss Lilith? Who are you and what do you do?
Hello, I'm Lilith Belmera. I play video games on Twitch. I'm not doing so currently because I'm waiting for my parts for my new computer. But yeah, I'm over on Twitter and Blue Sky. I have a Tumblr too, but I don't get on that.
Nobody likes Tumblr. Well, I mean, like,
don't-
it's,
I
feel
mean,
like it's
I
it's
do,
nice
not-
these days.
I like Tumblr. I don't think it's a good like if I like alternative to like Twitter for what I use Twitter for.
I
Yeah,
suppose true, but on the other hand, I would love to be there when the Twitter offices finally burn to a crisp.
true.
Wouldn't it be nice? Well, I'm glad to have you. It's a good place. And then finally, hey Cross, welcome to this side of the screens. Who are you, and what do you do?
Hello. I'm a cross-planar cleric. I am a cleric that is unfortunately huddling on a god husk in the middle of the astral plane. So we'll see how that goes. I don't do anything currently except for try to make a connection with other people.
Well, I'm sure that we're going to make that statement untrue relatively quickly, because this technically counts as like a soft debut for you, doesn't it?
Sure is.
I am very good at picking people to put at the table that are never the expected ones. I'm looking over into chat, and like as soon as Cross got introduced, Rev is over here like, Cross debut.
And Astra's just shrieking.
Oh yes, I also trying to find an image for my character, so feel free to.
Excellent, very good. Well then, if you want to, you can go ahead and upload it into your character sheet so that it is already there.
Okay, cool.
Speaking of character sheets, the game that we are going to be playing today is Call of Cthulhu, 5th edition? 6th edition? I forget which. I think it's 5th. Call of Cthulhu, the most recent of the editions. It is a really good game, honestly. I don't know. I'm quite pleased with the stuff that is going to be happening for it, and I am very excited to have everyone sitting here and playing with us. So yeah, we will do that thing, all of us together. But we're playing Call of Cthulhu in a similar world to one that you guys may have seen before if you watched the last time we had a 4-shot that was not Minecraft on this channel. Back when the last one happened, it was the Ghosts of the Archive Monster of the Week campaign. Lols, you were in that one, weren't you?
I was under a different character.
Our dear Jody Quick. And none of you met a horrible demise. How wild is that?
In spite of other people's attempts, yes.
Listen. I only exist as a medium by which the horrible demise can come to you.
In other words, a person after my own heart.
Oh, goodness. Is everybody ready?
Let me chug
Yes.
some energy drink really quick.
Hands me the latest energy drink.
I'm trying
Run
not to.
faster.
I'm trying not to crunch into the microphone because I'm still eating my avocados and chips.
I am?
Okay, actually though, students, this is a wonderful piece of information. It's so sort of
No.
refreshing about it. Hey Nano,
What?
what's your opinion on avocados so far, having just had them for the first time?
I am?
Not like the first time. Like the first time was like last November.
Is now a good time to say I've never had an avocado?
Bro, we need to change this. We need to rectify this immediately.
What is the... Okay, heck this. We're not playing Call of Cthulhu anymore. We're playing Call of Avocado.
Avocado?
Hold on. Okay.
Is that a kind of avocado?
I do have a similar experience that actually happened yesterday that you probably find just as funny. Okay, so you know pears? Like the fruit?
I
Yes.
do know them.
I've not really had a pear normally, and I had one yesterday, and I I work in a school, so this isn't weird. I asked a group of children that I work with, "Hey guys, how do I eat this pear?" And they all started clowning me.
That's true. I would clown you too.
They were like, "You just eat it," and I was like, "Okay, but like an apple?" And they're like, "Yeah, I guess. I mean, I cut it up, but you can do what you want. You're the teacher."
That is
Guys!
very funny.
Guys, please.
When you're so used to answering questions from your teacher, and your teacher asks you a question, and you must insist that there must be a trick answer to it.
Like, you've never had a pear before? I'm like, I mean, I used to have them in like fruit cups when I was like small, and they were like, "Oh my god."
They felt embarrassed for you.
I got through 3 bites, and I was like, "It doesn't even taste like anything."
That must have been a pretty bad pear then.
Yeah, I mean, like a pear that doesn't taste like pears is just kind of like a boring, very mealy apple. So
Pretty
So
much.
maybe, so the pear I had probably wasn't ripe then. All right.
Yeah, they're
it
supposed to be
feels
strong
like
tasting.
The pear that you had was bad.
It was very tough
It
to
also-
chew into. So.
It's definitely not supposed to be tough.
Well, shame on me.
Well,
I didn't know I don't know about fruits and vegetables. Clearly, you can see I need to fix my diet.
there's also different kind of pears. Like the pear-shaped joke a reference is shaped sort of like a vase or something, but there are also Asian pears which are just round, like a strange
Anyways.
orange.
And spiky.
I'm sorry to immediately subvert onto the topic of fruit, but I thought you might enjoy that, considering how you enjoyed the avocado bit.
Listen, I do think that it's very funny.
Anywho.
Oh, very good. Well then, why don't we get ourselves started? I'm just gonna go ahead and do one of these.
Oh.
There we go.
Ooh.
Music.
Ooh, fancy.
Now, when 5 in the afternoon comes in the Los Angeles suburb of Northshire, several things happen all at once. Students at the local community college shuffle out of their classes, finished for the day, and ready to hop into cars for the commute home, or head to local food spots, or even scoot over to the cinema for an evening showing of some movie or another. Workers hang up their aprons or badges or lanyards at various businesses. The newly opened Chuck E. Cheese braces for the inevitable impact of over-sugared children and over-alcoholed parents. The local hospital muddles through their change of shifts, exchanging notes on the patients and their conditions with the new nurses and orderlies. A plane may even land at the airport on the corner of town. Humans tend to be habitual creatures that follow unwritten patterns in their lives, and this is never more true than in Northshire. Every evening, one might expect to find the same crowd at the dive bars by the freeway. One might see the same few cars going in and out of the Kmart parking lot. The same group of teenagers might find themselves hanging out at the food court in the Northshire Fashion Center Mall. But today, something feels a little different. Engineering student Jia Lin, one of the extremely small number of female students in her field at Northshire Community College, checks her list of components one more time. The Circuit City across the street from her part-time job at the Chuck E. Cheese was a pretty good place for her. She's always able to find almost everything that she would need to make sure that the robotic animals stayed in working order. She walks through the back entrance, a plastic bag over one shoulder, into the maintenance and storage area beyond the screaming children and greasy air. Today, she's double-dipping her time, both as arcade maintenance and as a babysitter. In the same parking lot is a little Italian restaurant, where the paramedic Peter Kowalski often gets his dinner after shift. He's been fortunate to have the daytime shift for the last full week, which is very different from the usual hectic scheduling and midnight ambulance races to which he is very accustomed. Across the table from him sits the aspiring author Alex Oakes, poking at their penne alla arrabbiata with one hand, as the other flips pages in a spiral notebook full of words scrawled haphazardly and quickly. These two meet once a week here at Tony's, so that Peter can advise Alex on how to write realistic injuries for their author work, and Alex can give Peter a rundown of the few chapters when they exist. The cook, Tony himself, leans over the back of the seat with a cup of strong black coffee. A school bus pulls up at the curb, and 3 children get out. 2 of them, a brother and sister, disappear across the street into the residential district, but the third, young Mio Sylvia, approaches the Chuck E. Cheese entrance. Waiting at the doors is a young woman, the assistant manager, who waves to Mio and her button-eyed doll. Mio trots that direction and slips through the doors, then back into the storage area to meet Jia. We have 2 small parties already. Mio and Jia, and Peter and Alex. Let's begin at Tony's. Alex, how's the book coming?
Huh? Definitely struggling a little bit.
You've been working on it for a little while now, right? Since you came up to Northshire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How have you found Northshire so far? You've been here for about a year now, almost. It's not the biggest town you've ever been to, but it's at the very least able to separate you from those distractions that you were having to deal with from before.
It's nice and quiet, and I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
Just like definitely like stuck on a part, don't know how to write it out, and just trying to figure that out.
Well, it's very lucky that you've got a friend like Peter. Peter, you met Alex when they came into the Northshire Regional Hospital one time. Alex had twisted their ankle and needed some help with it, and you happened to be there to help. How does it feel having a relatively regular schedule for a few days? That's new.
It is incredibly strange. I almost don't know what to do with myself. It is kind of nice though. I'm still trying to get the sleep schedule on track. I don't think that's ever going to really change, but we'll see what works.
Tony brews his coffee exceptionally strong. Not just for him. You have a cup as well. What's the situation like with your ex-wife right now, Peter? It's been a little while since the divorce has happened, and things have calmed down somewhat, but, well, does she still live in town, or has she left already?
Listen. I may not know. I may be, I may, not be talking to her much at this point. She calls every week, and I may or may not be there on the phone. I have a very busy schedule. Sure, it's come down recently, but I have a very busy schedule, and she knows that.
It seems that things have calmed down in one way and, well, gotten a little more complicated in others. Nevertheless, it seems that things are pretty stable. The hospital recently has had a sort of rash of children who'd been coming in with injuries, thanks to a new trend that they'd seen on one of the Saturday morning cartoons, where one of the main characters grabs a handful of dirt and stuffs it into another character's mouth. You've been having to deal with several of those recently. So, it's not the best version of your job that you've ever had, but nevertheless, Northshire Regional pays enough, and you don't have to deal with nearly as many, let's call them big accidents, as some of the other larger hospitals in the area. The owner of the restaurant, Tony himself, a larger Italian gentleman with sort of matted back black hair under a hairnet, wearing a stained white apron over a pair of well-worn blue jeans and a sort of like dark blue t-shirt with a sports team on it that you can't quite tell which one it is because it's covered up by the apron, sort of leans over and takes a big sip of his coffee, sets the cup down on your table and says, "Well, you know, Alex, if you're looking for a way to increase the tension, you could always just have someone burst in with a gun." You've heard this 100 times at least. Tony is a big fan of, like, cop dramas and cop procedurals. It's not exactly the vibe you're going for, but Tony's a good guy. You try to humor him.
Yeah, well, I'll see what I can do, Tony.
I will say that gunshot wounds are typically much more serious than they make out in the media.
Yeah, is that so? I mean, I'm looking at me. I think I could probably take a gunshot or two. I think, you know, take one, boom, right in the stomach, I'd be completely fine. And he sort of, like, jiggles his stomach a little bit. He means it's to be funny.
Yeah.
But you don't go testing that theory. Smiles. Thumbs ups.
He
Yeah,
does another big
definitely.
chuckle. Go on.
Definitely. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Worse things have happened. At about this time, the thrift store on the other end of the parking lot pulls up a sort of grate that normally comes down at about 5 o'clock, but the grate comes up now. It's about 20 minutes after 5 or so, and this place is usually closed. But you see a middle-aged looking gentleman wearing one of the like dark green collared shirts that is the uniform for this place. The thrift store is actually owned by the St. Dionysius Catholic Church, south in the city. But this was the only place that they could find that would have the space for a thrift shop. And you see him open the front door, walk out, and then just kind of like look around, almost suspiciously. He rumbles around in his pockets for a moment and pulls out a small object. Looks at it for just a second. It's a little too far away for you to tell what it is. Puts it back in his pocket and then begins to walk back into the store. He pushes the glass door open, and as he's stepping inside, we switch over to Jia and Mio. Jia, you were lucky when you were offered this job so quickly. The proprietor of the place is a colorful gentleman. This Chuck E. Cheese just opened up last month. And, I mean, there's a lot of mechanical things inside. There's those strangely off-putting, like, mouse and bear and cat and cow things that play their weird, like, jug band country bluegrass songs for the children. You're not sure whether they actually like them or not. There's skee-ball machines, there's a whack-a-mole machine or two, plenty of arcade-type objects. And the one that catches your attention the most often is the pinball machine that is there. It's a sort of like space-themed machine. It's called Mercury, Mars, and Me. You think that it is a branded machine from a movie, like a sci-fi movie that no one's ever seen before. But the owner of the place, one Harold Bopp, who insists that people call him Mr. Chuckles, seems to like that machine quite a lot, and it does break quite often. You got this job one day when you saw the help wanted sign outside, and, well, somebody's, like, you have to pay rent and tuition somehow. When you came inside, you saw him sitting under the machine with a bunch of parts everywhere. And it was a quick fix for you. He hired you on the spot. On the opposite side, Mio. It is often the case that you are left with Jia as a babysitter. Your caretaker at the St. Dionysius Catholic Church is a foster parent. You are one of 6 children. And frankly, the place kinda sucks. The house is too small for there to be that many children. And the gentleman who is the main caretaker for everyone is also a deacon at the church. So much of the time that is spent there is spent listening to him speak about this figure that is meant to save everyone, having died at some point, and it's very sad and it's very somber, but don't worry, he comes back.
Aw.
It feels like a spoiler that they just tell you that every time they talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
This sounds familiar. Gee, I wonder why.
My poor child. My poor child.
But Mio, you are the eldest of the 6 children by, you would say, maybe a month or so.
Ha, nice. Superiority.
Pog.
And the secondary caretaker is the young woman Janet Thompson, the assistant manager of the Chuck E. Cheese. She's the closest thing to a mother figure that you've got. And she's not so deep in the Kool-Aid as the deacon.
I'm sorry, what's the deacon's name again?
The deacon's name is Harold Bopeep. He got teased a lot for it.
Thank you.
Harold Bopp and Harold Bopeep don't actually know each other, though you, having met both of them, think that this is very funny, that their names are so similar, but they are so different of people. But because Janet is often so busy doing the job of running the place, while Mr. Chuckles spends his time out on the floor trying to entertain guests, when he's not wearing his branded merchandise and clothes for Chuck E. Cheese, he wears the Chuck E. Cheese outfit and walks around with the big character head, getting pictures taken and handing balloons and popcorn to children. It's not really your thing. So you prefer sort of staying out of that environment, and it just so happens that Jia is a pretty darn good babysitter for it. Jia, you with a whack-a-mole machine pulled into the back and the pieces taken apart for maintenance, notice your erstwhile charge come inside, her plastic school backpack over one shoulder and her trademark button-eyed ragdoll in one hand.
Ah, that's so adorable. I don't know if I said that in character or out of character, but probably both.
Just every time Joe sees her, just like, oh, protect.
She totally would feel that way. In fact, she probably does say it out loud, just like, but then covers her mouth. But then it's like, wait, why am I covering my mouth? It's not rude to say that to a child, or to anyone for that matter.
Amazing. You two do seem to get along, despite one of you being literally 5 years old.
Bessies.
Mio, what do you like to do in the sort of like maintenance and storage area of the Chuck E. Cheese while you are being, let's charitably call it, babysat by Jia?
This is answered in character, right?
Correct.
Sweet.
I just like to watch them. I just like to watch them work. There's a lot of interesting tools in this room, and I don't know what any of them really are, but it's cool to see her put stuff together and fix stuff.
On that same note, Jia, what's it like babysitting a curious but quiet 5-year-old while also rebuilding arcade machines?
It's surprisingly kind of relaxing. Argia finds it surprisingly kind of relaxing, if only because this is the first time they've met anyone else that was interested in watching her work. Usually she's kind of seen as a weirdo for spending so much time on trying to recreate characters from Star Wars. But she literally has, her prized possession is quite literally a copy of A New Hope on video cassette. But also, it reminds her a lot of when she was 5, when she used to be very curious about things around the world. So she's kind of enthralled by it, and she almost feels kind of emboldened to put her best effort into her repairs, even if it's as simple as replacing a plunger spring on something.
Yeah, Mio never attempts to touch anything in that room. She just, like, watches.
Mio, you have an opportunity here. In this back area, there are things like wooden crates that have new arcade machines in them. There's giant sort of like big plastic nettings of balls for the ball pit. There's all kinds of things that you could play in or on. Are you the type of kid that climbs on top of stuff a lot? Or are you the type of kid that sort of tries to keep mostly out of trouble?
Mostly out of trouble, because getting in trouble at the church is never good.
Yeah,
she knows how some of the other kids that are a little younger than her, they're a lot more like rambunctious. And she's like, I don't want to get yelled at.
Yeah, when Harry actually tried to teach you what confession is, he's very sort of forward thinking in the practices of his strange religion. He tried to explain to you what confession is. He makes everyone do it. It's weird. And so when the other kids say things like, I spilled milk today, they get punished. And the punishments aren't huge. There are things like you have to sit in the corner and say, Jesus loves me 30 times, and then you'll be absolved. Absolve is a weird word. He says it a lot, and you're still not exactly sure what it means. But nevertheless, the two of you are easy to keep it's easy to keep the both of yourselves entertained in this back room. Jia, you work on the machines, and Mio, you watch.
Watches and occasionally she doesn't like mumble to her doll, but she does like interact with it very closely. Like she's always hugging it and never puts it down.
Mio, speaking of that doll, what's your doll look like? It's a rag doll with button eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But what else does it look like?
Doll it's wearing like kind of not like a tattered white dress. It definitely looks like it's gone through time. It's been a time since this doll had been like first put together. The white frilly dress has maybe a few loose strings here and there. The buttons are a bright blue, almost like they were sewn on recently. Like they're really clean despite the tatteredness of the rest of the doll. And black yarn is sort of tied down its back in a sort of like double braid.
Excellent. It's strange because you've had this thing for a while now, and you've had some incidents where another one of the children decided they wanted to try to take it, and you had a tug of war match over it. You've seen other stuffed animals and things get damaged and tear and all of that. But fortunately, your doll has never been damaged once. You think that it might be because it's got some sort of internal hard structure in each of the arms and in the neck. There's some sort of weird, maybe cylindrical thing that goes into each of them. It's still floppy like a rag doll, but each arm and each leg and the neck have some sort of support in them. You think that might be why it's such a durable little reliable friend.
Drop.
Have you ever let Jia hold your doll?
No.
Nobody gets to hold your doll, do they? Good.
No.
After all, that's how it should be. The doll belongs to you. It's yours.
Mm-hmm.
You feel a kinship to it. The door crashes open, and another one of the assistants, a sort of delivery courier type, backs in with a dolly full of boxes of ketchup packets. He looks around. He's maybe 40 or so, got kind of greasy hair under a snapback ball cap. And he holds up a clipboard and he says, I need someone to sign for these. Anyone do that for me?
Gia kind of looks up in surprise at the crashing noise, but relaxes when she sees it's just an assistant that needs something signed. So she, kind of half annoyed, gets up from her work and goes over to the person.
He sort of He like kind of hands you the clipboard sort of haphazardly. There's a pen clipped to it. It's a receipt form. He just says, "Yeah, just sign at the bottom, huh? This is a weird looking place. Doesn't it creep you out having like weird like machines and stuff everywhere back here?"
Gia wrinkles her nose and then bites her lip to try and not sound offended, to try and not seem offended.
Wow.
On the contrary, I don't feel more at home anywhere else, she says as she glances over at the paper. What does it say aside from the signature line?
The top of the form has the name of the delivery company, which is Frogman Delivers. It also has a list of several objects that are the receivables. In this one, there's 16 boxes of various condiment packages, and also one crate of skee ball parts. The gentleman sort of like taps on his head, like on the brim of his cap, and he goes, "Listen, I got another deadline to get to. You want to like just really quick like help me grab the rest of these boxes and I'll get out of your hair?"
Gia thinks nothing of it and then signs on the line and says sure.
All right. The two of you head outside into the parking lot, where a delivery truck with a gigantic green sort of like "hello my baby, hello my honey" style frog is painted on the side.
Oh no.
The back of it is opened up and there's tons of boxes inside. Mio, do you follow? Do you watch from inside? What do you do?
Gosh, what do I do? She just waits. She doesn't go anywhere.
Okay. From your standpoint, Mio, you see through this door the almost entirety of the parking lot. You see across the other end of it, there's the restaurant that people go in and out of. You see that there's like a shop that whenever you walk past it sort of smells like the back of an old person's closet. People bring like old and new things in and out of there all the time. There is the electronics shop that Gia has taken you into once or twice. And as you are looking out, a long black sedan rolls into the parking lot, settling in front of the second-hand shop. A man in a crisp black suit with a sort of lumpy-looking duffel bag steps out of the driver's seat. Peter and Alex, you have a clear and perfect view there. And something feels off about this guy. Peter, the first thing that you notice is that he, when he stands up, has a limp. You think that there's some injury there that had ought best be treated at some point. And Alex, this sort of dark gentleman in a crisp black suit with a bag, feels a little bit like one of the characters that you were like struggling to make work in one of the scenes that you were working in. And it catches both of your attention. But it catches Tony's attention even more. Tony looks through the glass windows and he says, "Hey, you two just stay here a sec, yeah?" And he takes off his apron, lays it on the counter, and then walks to the front door and locks it from the inside and starts to pull down the shutters.
I don't like that.
Oh my.
I don't like how the music stopped.
The music knows. The music's trying to warn us.
Oh my god.
I
Yeah.
sure look with Alex like that's clearly not normal, right?
You see Tony starts to like pull down the rolling shutters that like cover up the windows and stuff, and you hear him kind of like muttering a little bit to himself. I'd like both of you to make a listen check for me, please.
Champ.
Okay. I am in verbose. I'm going
First actual check of the game. Let's go.
Whoop, whoop.
Listen check,
Where
right?
did that appear?
Yes,
I'm
Peter is a
looking-
no-go.
All right, I think. Did it
Where-
John
work?
also
The
Oh no.
the results of the rolls that you do are in the chat tab of the stuff that's in the upper right hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cross, 73 against your 55 is a failure, and Jia, I called for the wrong person, didn't I? I needed Peter and Alex to do it for me, please. So, Alex, if you'd be so kind. Lilith, you with us?
Huh? Yeah, sorry.
No worries. Lilith, if you could make a listen check for us, please.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Sorry.
It is
Oh,
in your
okay.
skills. Ah, so close.
Oh.
We're just
The
not
only
gonna share.
thing, well, the only thing that either of you actually hear is him say the phrase "the family."
No, this is the mob. Or at least that's what's gonna pop into a person's head first before anything else.
Now, Ja, you out in the parking lot see this this black sedan pull up, and you can tell immediately that this is a high-end car.
Mm-hmm.
It's a car that is associated with money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And when you see the person step out, something about them makes you uneasy. You're not quite sure what.
No, dear.
Mio, this person
God.
this person is wearing a pair of black sunglasses, but you swear that they make eye contact with you through that door.
Stranger
Oh, no.
danger.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Does Gia
He
see
reaches
this?
into his Jia, you are definite. Is it Jia or Yia?
I pronounce it Gia, but I'll accept Jia also.
Okay. Excellent. So Jia then. Jia, you definitely note this gentleman sort of acting out of place. And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out something long and shiny, maybe 6 inches or so. Peter and Alex, you both see this is a fork. A normal metal fork. And he looks at it for a moment and then flicks it up in the air. When it clatters to the ground, you see him lean down and study it for a moment. Then scoop it up, put it in his pocket, and look up at Mio. He begins walking towards the side door of the Chuck E. Cheese, reaching into the bag and pulling out what is obviously a handgun.
Bro,
No,
oh
we're not.
no, 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 no,
Is
no,
the
no.
option to dive into the ball pit still available?
I mean, you certainly could.
like, I feel like I'm getting a serious sense of, oh no.
I'll tell you what, you 100% are getting the oh no's.
The instinct is to hide. The instinct is to hide immediately.
Oh man.
The gentleman begins sort of walking with a limp almost towards the entrance to the Chuck E. Cheese. Peter and Alex, you see Tony like almost flinch as he sees the gun, but then when he sees he's walking away, Tony unlocks the door, puts the key back in his pocket, and pulls up the shutters. And he says, "It's just my imagination." Listen, you two, I think we're gonna close up early today. I think I got some stuff I gotta do, huh? Tell you what, your food's on me. Why don't you two just kind of hop out of here, yeah?
Just, get out of here.
Skedaddle.
Take care of yourself, Tony.
Yeah, I intend to. You two too, yeah? You stay away from whatever's going on over there.
No.
And he sort of, he like kind of crosses his arms and taps his foot almost nervously.
Know him?
Tony bites his lip for a moment and says, "Nah, never seen him before."
Fire. Okay. Well, all right. I'll see you later.
There's a sort of nod. And then he just kind of like turns and messes with some things behind the counter. He sort of is expecting for the two of you to leave.
Like that a guy with a gun is entering a place populated by children. I think I want to go on over there.
Tony, I swear to God.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Gia, now that you are looking up, you see the gun. There's a gun now. This gentleman is walking towards you with a gun.
We should call the police.
Call the police! They're not gonna get here in the next few seconds. Does Gia know that Mio is also outside?
Mio's inside.
Mio,
Oh, Mio.
Mio is still inside. There's just
she's
like
still
a
inside.
straight shot through the door that like Mio can see directly out of, and so too can this gentleman see.
She is going to book it like crazy towards the door. Where
Hey! What's with the hurry? The boxes! And then he looks over, sees the guy with the gun, and goes, "Oh no, I ain't paid enough for this." And he slams the back of his truck shut, scrambles into the door, and floors it out of the parking lot.
Oh.
Gia, you scramble inside the side maintenance door.
and she's gonna try and lock the door while saying in a very hurried but a attempted calming voice for Mew to actually, there is no way for me to say this in a way that's not kind of partly freaked out, it's not kind of concerned.
Mio has like already been trying to find a hiding spot, like since the instant she stole the gun.
Okay.
Before that.
So Gia's probably going to like yell to Mew to hide, but then probably knows that she's already doing that, so she's gonna try and lock the door or barricade the door.
Mm-hmm.
Mio, when you dive into, it's not the ball pit itself, it's like a big net bag full of replacement balls for the ball pit.
Nice.
You slide into the like big collection of them and go all the way down to the bottom of it, where the box that it's sitting in, you put your back up against the end of it. It is about a half-inch thick of cold metal. You think it might be some kind of protection granted to you by someone in the classroom. But
There's
yeah,
what
then
in my
Gia,
bag? There.
well, there's a sort of big metal sheet between you and the door now. Thanks to Knight Gardenia in the chat redeeming the bless redeem. I
so, okay,
knew
so
that
what
I
is
had
that?
ought to have.
What does that look like then? So I'm in the back of this bag of balls, and there's just like a metal sheet has just poof.
It's not that it's appeared, it's that like next to where the big net of balls is, there is a metal box.
Oh.
And you are like you put your back up against it and it has shielded you from the door.
Nice.
Pog.
You really put a bulletproof vest in the ball pit, Aster.
Listen, Gia, you slam the door shut. Make a luck check for me, please.
Oh dear God.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Yes. Oh my God.
Oh, lucky. This door has had some problems staying shut for the past like couple weeks or so. And when you slammed it shut, the only thought in your mind was, oh, please latch, please latch. And you heard the click. It does latch shut.
Sigh of relief.
Peter and Alex. This gentleman is maybe 20 feet away from you. Walking purposefully, somewhat slowly, his back towards you. And you hear him now, breathing erratically. I've got 4 hours. Just 4 hours. I only need one. I only need one of them. And then I'll be okay. 4 hours. I only need one. Okay.
Good.
I can do this. A few more steps. The gun in his hand is trembling.
I'd like. Hey there!
Gosh.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
You raise your voice. And, Peter, you've been through some stuff as a paramedic. So, like, things don't really surprise you very much. But when you raise your voice, the gentleman whirls around and points the gun in your direction. And you see now, when he turns, the glasses slip down just a little bit, and both of his eyes are pitch black. And he goes, "What do you want?"
Whoa, just calm down.
Yeah.
Immediate regret. Just immediate, like, oh.
Raise his hands like, hey, you seem to be a little distressed there. Was wondering if you wanted to go to the hospital with me.
No, don't. I don't have time for this. I just need to get one of them. Just one. And then it'll wear off.
What you need right now is to take a deep breath and let Peter here take you to the hospital. So, and obviously put the gun down. That would be appreciated as well.
I don't have time. I only have 4 hours left. I have to get one of these, and I have to get him back. And if I don't, well, it won't matter what I'm doing. I'd
4
like for
hours
the
total.
both of you to make a persuade check for me. This is going to be a hard roll.
Get that good persuade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Extreme success.
Extreme.
Yeah, if that's not the luck that we're looking for here, huh?
Go, Alex!
There is a moment of hesitation, and he lowers the gun. He's still holding it, his fingers on the trigger. Absolutely garbage trigger discipline. But he's shaking and he goes, "You don't understand. If I can't get one of these stupid objects and get it back to him in the next 4 hours, I'm going to die."
Okay. With my persuade, could I possibly like slowly walk up to him?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think you should definitely be able to move forward.
Okay. Okay, what objects are you looking for? Maybe we can help.
Just any of them, anything. Just as long as it counts, and then he reaches down into his pocket really quickly and pulls this fork that you saw him with back out. And when he holds it up, you see that one of the tines is bent at a strangely oblique angle and is pointing back towards the Chuck E. Cheese. He says, "If it points at this thing, if it points, then it counts. That's all I know." And you see a black, sort of tar-like tear begin to roll down one cheek.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Aw.
Am I getting close to him?
You're about, let's say, 2 big steps away from him now.
Okay. I want to like slowly like come up to him, like put on my hand on his shoulder, like in a reassuring way. It's like, it's okay. That we just breathe. We can figure this out. And as I'm like talking, I try to like take this gun out of his hand.
That's gonna be more difficult. A persuasion might have gotten him to not shoot you, but to take the gun is gonna be something significantly more physical. This might be a brawl check.
Oh.
You reach for the gun. He sees what you're doing and brings it back up as if to try to point it at you again.
Oh, I was trying to be sneaky about it, but
I mean, it's in his hand, so it might be difficult for that. Go ahead and make a brawl check for me.
okay. Is that regular brawl?
Regular old brawl.
Okay.
Show me what you fumble.
Oh boy.
A 99 is a
no.
crit failure.
Oh shit. Woo!
Now, Alex, do you want to push your luck with this roll?
Please do.
Sure.
What could possibly go wrong, right?
I always felt
All right,
it
Alex.
can't get any worse, right?
All right, Alex. Show us what you've
Roller.
got then. You reach for the gun, and he slaps your hand to the side, pulls the gun up into your face, and pulls the trigger, and click. Nothing happens. It seems the gun has mysteriously malfunctioned, thanks to another bless redeem.
Lose my mind.
But it doesn't work. He looks at the gun and then brings it back and slams it into the side of your head instead. You take 1d3 points of damage. Let's see how much that is. 3 full points.
Oh.
Clunk! The butt of a pistol thunk onto the side of your head, and your temple screams. Your vision kind of goes white for just a moment. It's not the best thing that's happened to you today. Smash cut to Mio and Gia. Gia, the door locked. And you peek through the tiny window on the door to see now that there are 2 people who are trying to stop this person, and one of them just got clocked in the head with the butt of a pistol. You saw him try to pull the trigger, Something didn't work there. But if that means the gun is empty, or if it means that it's jammed or what, you're not sure. It makes you feel simultaneously a little better, because if gun doesn't work, then gun is not a problem. And worse, because a mechanical malfunction in a gun is very easily cleared.
Mm-hmm.
But you do see that outside. You look back and you see Mio has dove. Now, Mio, you are in the ball pit. And you are clutching your doll in front of you, and you feel the structure inside of the doll.
She's got her face buried into the back of its head, just like...
Oh, for sure. And there is the familiar scent of your doll that just kind of fills your senses. It's fabric and like pine needles and just a teeny little bit of oil, maybe, or meat almost. Like maybe it got like a teeny corner of it dipped in gravy at some point. And your fingers tighten, just clutching this doll to you. And when you open your eyes, you see this man from about 5 feet behind or so. You see him struggling now with the 2 people in the parking lot.
I see this with my
Just
eyeballs?
for like a half a second.
Oh.
I need you to make a sanity check for me, please.
Oh boy. How do I do that again?
Click on the sanity on your character sheet and it should roll it directly for you. You need to turn edit mode off if it is on.
Got it. Slay.
There we go.
Thug life.
Thug life chose me!
Strangely, Mio, this is not the first time you've had little flashes like that. It's always been when something is threatening you. Whether it's one of the kids at school being a bully, or whether it's that one time that a big scary dog chased you down the street, or in this case, when a man in a black suit with a gun is coming after you. And it's strange. When you squeeze the doll, this is the first time that you've been in a situation where it's been doll squeeze o'clock and you've had a flash like that. And the urge rolls over you to just squeeze a little harder. What would you like to do, Mio?
I mean, I'm 5. I'm gonna squeeze. I'm scared,
Mio, tell me,
man.
are you squeezing the right arm, the left arm, the right leg, the left leg, or the neck?
She's kind of got like, man, I guess closer to the neck, because she's got, I imagine that she's got like her arms kind of around it, like around the whole thing, and then just like pressing it like up close.
Very good. Mio, you squeeze the doll, your eyes shut as tightly as they can go, and you feel a tiny little on the inside of the doll.
Bruh.
Killed it.
Would you kindly use 1 magic point and make a power roll for me at hard difficulty?
Hey. Okay, so use a magic point?
Correct. So you temporarily reduce the amount that you've got by 1. And then, yeah, make a hard power roll for me.
Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. I started pressing buttons like a dummy. Okay, and then a hard power roll. Slay.
Pog.
Well, well. If that's not exactly what we are looking for.
Oh, I don't know if I like that.
I do.
She just
Alex?
squeezes it and is just like,
My Millie will protect me.
God, I hope
Alex
so.
and Peter. Outside. Well, Alex, you just got bonked in the head with the butt of a gun, and you stumble and onto the ground. Peter, you just saw head trauma, but you also see the man in black start to fiddle with the gun. He pulls the slide back, and a stuck round falls out. The slide slams forward, and he looks at it, meets eyes with you, and points the gun at you. And he says, "There's no time. Either I get this, or I die. And I don't want to die today." And he pulls the trigger. He's going to make a firearms check, and I would like for you, Peter, to make a dodge check for me, please.
Bad at that. I rolled so bad for that. There it is.
So I'm gonna roll some stuff on my side.
Yeah. Oh wait, no.
Oh no.
Boy, oh boy. He is trembling when he does so. But the one hand comes up and he pulls the trigger. And the aim isn't great, but somehow, thanks to a blessing from the audience, he was able to unjam the gun. And a round exits the gun at high speed. Peter, you try to spin to the side, but you feel the sudden thunk white hotness of the muscle on your right thigh just erupt. You've been shot in the leg. You are certain that it did not hit your bone, and thank the stars for that. But you definitely did just get shot. We're gonna do, thanks to the aim being somewhat poor, you take 3 points of damage.
Okay, great. Love that.
Yeah.
yippee.
But as soon as you look up, like your hand shoots down to the leg and you fall down onto your butt, and you look up and you see him like look over now at Alex and turn the gun that way, and then all of a sudden his neck suddenly twists at such an acute angle that his chin breaks his own collarbone.
Oh.
Oh.
And you hear
Oh.
a sudden gurgle.
Oh my god.
The gun falls from his fingers and clatters to the ground. And his body stands stock still for a moment and then falls over. Thump. And then a second later, his head splits open from the top.
Oh no.
Out comes just viscera. Almost like a Christmas popper.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Nice visual.
Gia, you just watched all that happen through this window.
Shh. It was at this
There are
moment.
now,
It was at
there
this.
are now 2 injured bodies and one definitely dead body out in the parking lot. What would you like to do?
Oh boy.
It was at this moment that I realized I made my character way too sane compared to her other variants, because any other GA would have seen this and vomited immediately.
You know, actually, you're talking about sanity. You did just watch some pretty horrible stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'd like everyone but Mio to make a sanity check for me, please.
That's what I was wondering. I
Uh,
thought you were going to make us do a sanity check. Oh boy.
All right. Gia's sanity goes down. Alex somehow manages to stay okay.
Even though I'm the one
Peters.
right next to him and I have the visceral.
Oh yeah, no, like it has definitely kind of like all over your leg. Not a great feeling, but you kind of like blacked out for a second there. But Gia and Peter, you both lose. Let's see, 1d3. 1 sanity.
Oh, okay. Do I reduce the left one or the right one?
The left one, please. Gia, whatever just happened out there, something in your brain just goes, you gotta help, and you wrench the door open. Peter, you look down at the wound in your leg, and you start to hyperventilate. You've dealt with other people's injuries plenty, but you've never been shot yourself.
It's new.
And you are becoming dizzy. In your mind, the analytical portion says this is either hyperventilation or blood loss. One of the two. And Mio. Something feels different now. You feel exceptionally relieved. Like whatever problem was coming isn't a problem anymore.
Like waking up from a bad dream and it's just gone.
The weight is off your shoulders. On the other hand, you look over and you see Gia, like, burst the door open and take a couple steps outside.
She's gonna crawl out of the place. She's gonna crawl out of her hiding place and just very carefully, like, head towards the door and go. Lala, what are Gia's pronouns?
Gia uses she or she her.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna approach the doorway and just very quietly go,
Miss Gia?
That voice kind of snaps you back, Gia.
Gia kind of blinks, kind of takes a quick stock of where she is, and then turns around to see Mia. Sorry, how do you pronounce that? Mia or Mio?
Mio.
Mio. Mio, poking her head out of the door, and blinks, and immediately kind of turns back to motherly mode. It's like, "Oh, honey, please stay inside. It's not safe out here."
She just goes,
Yes, it is. The danger's gone.
And like Gia's immediately is about to argue, but then she thinks like, technically that's true, but also she does not say that out loud.
I mean, you're right, but how did you know?
You basically see her like she's about to retort, then she stops mid sentence. Is like, "You're right, but please."
Okay.
There is a sudden exodus as the gunshot has gathered a lot of attention and everyone is fleeing. Tons of people pouring out of the the Chuck E. Cheese, the Circuit City, people like scrambling into cars and like jettisoning out of the parking lot. You see Tony in the restaurant, like standing at the door, and you see him like wrestling with himself. And then he finally just pushes the door open and like dashes out over to you two, Peter and Alex. He looks over at you, Alex. He says, "You okay?"
Yeah, I'm fine. I just got hit inside of the head.
There.
Nothing I'm
bleeding?
not used to. No.
You're not bleeding. You're
Just in a
okay.
lot of pain.
All right, help us here. Help us here.
That's not how that works. Because there's no
Oh,
blood.
good.
That's not how that works.
Tony grabs Peter under the arms and sort of drags him over to the side and sits him down on one of the plastic chairs outside of the restaurant. And then he kind of like runs his hands through his hair, looks down at the wound, and then looks over at Gia and makes eye contact. Now, Gia, you've eaten at Tony's a couple times now. You know Tony. He's an amicable fella. And you see him like meet eyes with you, look over at the body, look back over at you, and then just go, "Oh, God." And he motions for you and Mio to quickly come over.
What should I do with this gun?
He says, the gun
Leave it there?
gun you can leave, but grab that bag of his.
Bag. I look for the
Remember,
bag.
he had a sort of lumpy looking duffel bag.
I'll grab it, I suppose.
You wrap your fingers around the handle and pick it up. Bring it right on over. Now, Mio and Gia, what are you two doing?
Well,
Mio reaches up and kind of like grabs like their sleeve or like kind of nudges their arm, just
aww.
unsure.
So Gia is gonna tightly but confidently grip Mio's arm as they or hand, whichever is touching him, as they head over to Tony.
I walk right past the corpse, like it's cool.
Don't look
Yeah,
at the
you
corpse,
know-
honey.
You know, Mio, like, this doesn't feel weird. You think to yourself, this should feel weirder than it does.
Danger's
And you
gone, so it's
see-
okay.
You see in his hand, like, the hand that was clutching the bag, there's still a shiny metal fork with one of the tines bent, pointing directly at you.
Oh no.
I kind of want it.
You reach down and pick it up, and the tine straightens immediately. And then there's almost like a protectiveness that comes around it. Like you know how close your doll is to you. And you feel for just a moment that this fork is almost, maybe, just as important. Like, you don't want to give this to anybody.
Mine now.
Tony tears a scrap of the white cotton tablecloth and uses it to make like a tight bandage tourniquet around the wound, which is a all the way through type wound. The entry and exit wound, still bleeding. and then says, all of you guys saw that. Which means all of you guys is gonna have some problems coming up. Yous better come with me.
So I
And
should
he-
grab that gun.
Nah, leave the gun. Gun we don't need. Gun you should not have. Don't put no fingerprints on no gun.
No, he's right.
Just the dangerous coming our way.
It ain't danger that can be fixed with a gun. You better come
Oh.
with me. And he grabs the plastic chair by the arms, lifts it up like it's nothing, and takes you, Peter, into his restaurant and sets you very gingerly down. He grabs the first aid kit from behind the like kitchen door and sets it down on the table next to you, and he says, "You's probably better at this than me."
Reach for it.
As
You're
soon
right.
as everyone is inside, Tony slams the door shut, locks it, and pulls down all the shutters.
Are we getting pizza?
You know what, kid? I think I got some pizza. I think I got some pizza still for you, but hang on a sec. Hey, Peter, would you kindly make a first aid check for me, please?
Sure thing. Here. Alphabetical. Okay. I swear to
Boy,
Can I-
oh boy.
Can I
push my
assist?
luck. I pushed my
Can I
luck.
assist with the first
Push
aid?
the- You would have had to have said so before the roll happened.
Oh, rip.
But-
I'll keep that in mind then.
Peter, you fumble with the first aid kit for a moment, and when you get it open, you look down, and you see you've lost a considerable amount of blood, and you reach down for like one of the gauze bandages and just tip the whole thing over, scattering it across the floor.
Oh.
Tony kind of like looks and then says, "Anyone else know what they're doing here?"
It's right there. Can we please just go to the hospital? He's got a head trauma, or they've got head trauma.
Listen, you want to go to the hospital, feel free to do so, but there's some stuff you gotta know first. And he reaches into his pocket, the pocket of his apron, and he pulls out a pen, like a clicky pen. And he sets it down on the table next to him. And that, I think, is where we will take our first break. It's about time for us to take a little break to get some food, get some drinks, go to the bathroom, hyperventilate and get rid of the trauma that just happened.
Chug energy drinks.
Get more
This is a
water.
5-minute break for everyone, so I'm going to hit that timer. We will all be back in 5 minutes to see what happens next. Sound good for everybody?
PogChamp.
Like,
All right, then. Here we go.
I need somebody to tell me what I missed in the last 30 seconds.
Uh,
I really had to run. I'm so sorry.
Peter is
No, you're
currently
good.
Peter is currently bleeding out. I'm not even exaggerating.
Okay. Discord chat later of my creepy doll collection just for you guys.
Pog.
Excellent.
I don't have too many, but I do have a handful of them.
I would
I-
love that.
I'd have it no other way. That's amazing. Very good.
I low-key kind of want to make one that looks like this in-game doll now, just so I can have it.
Yeah, do it. That'd be so cool.
I could. I have the materials. I'll get on that. Remind
Already
me.
making merch for it.
Well,
All right,
yeah, I
3, 2, 1. Now then, let's get back to it, shall we? And there we go. We have returned, everybody. I hope that everyone had a great little time during break, being able to do things like go to the bathroom and get drinks and get snacks and feel the catharsis of not being in a gun situation anymore.
For now.
I mean,
Oh, boy.
we still have the wounds.
Yeah, well, how's everyone doing so far? Are we having a good time so far? Is everything doing okay?
Indeed.
Yeah.
For a given value of good times, I suppose.
Are we getting pizza?
Amazing. Dude, that voice, by the way, Nano.
That,
Like,
that voice is perfect. I'm so
chef's
jealous.
kiss. Top tier.
Besides the fact that I wanted to play the token scary child because this is a horror-based thing, I'm very proud of my ability to sound like I just ate a bottle of helium. I know what I said. And so I was like, how can I? These homies, they like my voices. How can I, baby?
It's perfect.
Yes,
I
the
wish
role I
I
was made
could.
for.
It kind of feels great to play a
Amazing.
mostly normal character in a most definitely not normal setting for once too. Because I almost never do this.
Yeah, you know, once in a while you can be somewhat normal. Somewhat.
Imagine being normal.
Couldn't be me. Is everyone ready to get back into it then?
Yes, absolutely. This is so fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
Adding.
Tony wraps a clean kitchen towel around the gunshot wound very tightly. And says, I ain't a doctor, that's your thing, but this should probably help. Hang on. And he takes the pen, looks around, makes sure that you guys are the only ones that are there, and then he opens the cash register and puts the pen inside, underneath a bunch of the money, and then closes it. And he goes, okay, seems like you guys is gonna have questions. And I think I'm the only one round here who's gonna be able to answer even any of them right before you start. So, I am afraid to be the one to welcome you to the world of artifact collecting. And it ain't my favorite thing. And nobody does it on purpose unless they be kind of crazy. But you're in it now. And he looks over at the fork that Nano has got. It's Nano, wow, that Mio has got. And he says,
Nano.
Hi, Nano.
Hey kid, tell you what. You take that fork of yours and you flick it up in the air, I'll give you a slice of pepperoni, huh?
Can I still keep it?
Oh yeah, sure, kiddo, it's yours, it ain't mine.
I've got a bad feeling about this. I say in
so
character.
she steps away from Gia and just like doll in one arm, fork in the other hand.
I just throw it?
Right up in the air, kiddo.
Okay.
And she just like her little baby arms just like as high as a kid could throw a fork, I guess. It's like towards the ceiling, and then kind of like ducks away, afraid it's gonna hit her head. Local child just tricks her pizza. We'll throw forks for pizza.
The fork sails in the air for a moment, tumbling end over end, and then clatters to the tile floor. And when it does, all 4 of the tines bend. One tine points directly towards the cash register, and 3 of them point towards the duffel bag that Alex has. And Tony goes, yes, what I was expecting. That ain't great, but all right. And as he begins to talk, he retreats back into the kitchen for a moment, and you hear the shroof of a pizza cutter being run across a pizza.
Excellent.
He comes back out with a full pepperoni pizza that is only a few minutes old, and sets it down on the table where everyone is. And then he takes the pen out of the cash register and moves it, like, around. And everyone watching, you can see that the tine that was pointing at the cash register moves to follow the pen.
Is part of
Bruh.
it
And he
still
goes-
pointing at my? Is part of it still pointing like at me?
No, there are 4 tines.
Oh, okay.
One of them is pointing at the pen, and the other 3 are pointing at the duffel bag.
Cool.
And Tony goes, I didn't think that this was a real one. I thought that they'd made this one up, huh? Welp. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone who's had the good sense to do away with that whole biz. That little fork there, it's like a divining rod, almost, right? You use it to find artifacts what ain't yours yet. Like this one. And he holds up the pen. It's like a dark blue Bic clicky pen.
Nice.
And he, like, looks at it for a moment and he goes, any of you's got like a weird thing what does weird stuff?
Gia just puts her hands on her hips and looks at you like, a weird thing that does weird stuff.
Listen, I know it ain't the most detailed of explanations, but, like, that's pretty much how it sort of rolls out here. Here, let me show yous. And he walks back into the kitchen and comes back out with a paper bag on the outside of which says Ave brand popcorn kernels. And he pours like a handful of them into a cup and then sets the bag down on a table, takes the cup, walks 5 steps away from the bag, and then goes, now watch this. And he holds the pen up and clicks it. And instantly, every kernel of popcorn in the cup bursts into popcorn.
Gia blinks again because she cannot believe what she has just seen, as in literally not. Her brain is struggling to deny that this just occurred.
Mio takes the
Yeah.
hands of her doll and like claps them together and goes,
Did you see that? That was magic.
The solid structures inside of the arms clunk sort of muffledly against each other. Thump, thump, thump.
Oh, honey, there's no
Yeah.
such thing as magic.
Yeah, I sort
Yeah.
of thought that was the case also, but well, you know, looking at what we's just sawn outside, I think you's gonna be pretty hard pressed to keep that belief up, nah. I don't know what if it's magic as what, but well, they something. And he takes the pen and puts it back in his pocket, and he goes, I got one of them, now I can't get rid of the dang thing. Seems like one of yous has got one as well, and he looks over at you, Mio. And he says, this fork is pointing sort of directly at yous, little kid. You got something what does weird stuff?
Oh, hold on.
I don't think so.
Well, it looks like maybe that doll of yours is gonna be one of them.
As soon as
So,
he mentions the doll, she instinctively holds it tighter, you're not taking it away from me.
Mia, when you hold it tight, you feel the sort of weird grinding sensation of something being broken on the inside.
Oh dear.
Again.
And he goes,
Okay.
whoa, whoa, whoa. I ain't looking to take nothing from nobody. This thing here, and he holds the pen back up again. He goes, this is useful sometimes, cause it ain't one of the big ones, you know? But I ain't looking to get mixed up into any of this any more than I already was. And he looks over at the bag and he says, why don't you take a look inside of that, see what you got.
Me?
Who's he saying that to? In general, just the whole squad?
Yeah, I mean, Alex has the bag, but he's kind of directing it to everybody.
Okay.
I guess I can open it.
Mio's gonna retrieve the fork.
Yeah. Alex, you open the bag, and on the inside, there is a plastic ruler that is 18 inches long.
Loot box.
A sort of like a wooden cooking spoon, and a very large pair of bifocal glasses. And he goes, well, I seen one of them before, but I don't know what the other two does.
Okay.
So, you
know-
better divvy them up then, huh?
You don't know what
these
any
things-
of them do.
Yeah, listen, these things are sort of like your first line of defense against those who's coming after you is looking for them, huh? Because there's some of these crazies out there what be trying to gather up these things and, do stuff with them. So, you wanna make sure that they don't be coming looking for yous, and they're just looking for the stuff that yous got. Because now that yous knows about it, now they's gonna be looking for the information that they expect yous to have. So, I recommends that you divvy those up.
We don't know what any of them do.
And he points to the spoon. And he goes, well, I know what that one does. But, yeah, that ruler and them glasses, I don't know. So, I mean,
Well,
you
what
could
does the
experiment
spoon do?
with them if you'd like, but, it's probably not the best idea to do whilst uses in my restaurant.
Well, what does a spoon do? Since you know what it is, apparently.
And he squints for a moment and he goes, hang on. Right, okay, here we go. And he grabs a small bowl and several salt shakers, dumps all the salt in the bowl, and sets the bowl down in front of you, Alex. And he says, take the spoon and stir it up in the salt.
Oh, okay. I'll do so, I suppose.
When you dip the spoon into the granules in the bowl, a sudden sort of rush of adrenaline goes through your body. I would like for you to spend 1 magic point and make a hard power roll, please.
Oh, yay. But
Show me
but-
what you've got. That power roll's not looking good, but do you want to press your luck?
Went so well for me last time, why not? God damn.
Oh boy, so close.
Oh no.
You feel this like jolt kind of run up your arm and into your chest, up into your eyes. And I need you to roll a d6 for me, please.
Oh, yay.
You technically did do better, too. You find yourself sitting in Tony's restaurant. The radio is playing, and it is narrating the baseball game that was happening yesterday. And you see a sort of like maybe mid-30s woman with long black hair sitting at one of the table with two kids. And one of them grabs the like shaker of pepper flakes and dumps the entire thing into his mother's Pepsi drink. And his mother just takes a deep breath and then picks up the drink and sets it back down on the counter. And you see Tony walking back up with another cup. And then, boom, your vision returns. And he goes, "So what'd you see?"
Your restaurant?
Yeah. When? What kind of stuff was it, huh?
Some kid dumped pepper in his mom's drink, I guess?
Yeah, I remembers that. That happened just yesterday then. So you got the one that just lets you seize what happens yesterdays. Yeah. When you stirs this spoon into like a container of like dry granulated stuff, like sand, salt, rice or something like that, it shows you what happened in that area some time ago.
Okay.
So
Nice.
there's the first ones, huh? I don't know what the other twos do, but you should divvy them up, and then I thinks I'm gonna drive at least the two of yous, and he points to Alex and Peter, over to the hospitals real quick. And then he looks over at you, Gia, and he says, You wanna come along just in case? Seems like you've been, kind of wrapped up in what's been going on, and, well, the first night's always the most difficult.
Gia obviously looks skeptical, but it also looks like they're trying to keep it together because this is way too much in such a short span of time. In between watching as a rich guy threatens a bunch of people with a gun and then has a spasm and dies by his head literally exploding onto the ground spontaneously, and now having been shoved with all this magic stuff, which she vehemently doesn't believe despite it happening right in front of her, she says, can I have one of those slices of pizza?
Yeah. Knock yourselves out. I mean, we're closing up, so this is just gonna go to waste otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, Mio's just while he's been out here stirring salt, Mio's just been like munch.
Mio's on her second piece of pizza.
She will immediately join Mio for the pizza.
Doll on her lap, pizza in hand, munch.
I suppose I'll set the spoon down and I'll grab, like, the bifocals.
All right.
And I suppose I'll have to put them on for them to work.
Do you set them on your nose?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
When you set them on your nose, things are a little bit blurry because the prescription is not for you. It's definitely for someone who has significantly worse eyesight than you do. But you see several little, like, almost strands of maybe like a gold or a yellow, sort of pointing in directions. And the one that is the brightest, you follow it with your eyes, and it terminates on a poster on the wall for an old like 1950s version of like a Zorro film, where it's got Zorro with his big hat and his mask and his sword riding on a horse, and the line terminates at the horse.
Ayo?
Okay, can I go touch the horse, I guess? See if that does anything.
You touch the horse. Anyway, the pizza is really good pizza.
This is the best damn pizza Gia's had in ever.
Yeah, I mean, I feel it's probably like triple delicious because, like, one, it's like, 5:45 in the afternoon, and that's just when like the food is going to hit. And two, the trauma probably just like makes everything so much more intense right now.
Miu just smiles and goes,
Thank you, Mr. Tony.
Yeah, of course, kid. Don't make a habit of it, though, you know? I got a business to run here.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta focus my vision on the horse.
It looks like a black stallion being ridden by someone dressed as Zorro. There
Okay.
are several other lines that are coming like off of your eyesight in various directions, but they seem to like be pointing at things outside of the restaurant, maybe.
Okay. Cool.
"Glasses. It's glasses that can find horses." Good job.
In the meantime, though, Tony grabs his keys and offers to take anyone who would like it over to the hospital.
Oh,
This is coming.
okay.
Now, the hospital is only like 5 minutes north of here. It's technically outside the city limits, but it is still the Northshire Regional Hospital. This is, in fact, where Peter works. It's like you were here earlier today, Peter. To think that you have to come back with a gunshot wound is somewhat humiliating.
Yeah,
Aw.
so it goes, I suppose.
I
I guess I just can't leave this place.
Who is going along to the hospital?
I suppose I would be.
Yeah, you've got like a knot the size of a softball on your temple.
Oof.
So probably a good idea that you go.
No, if you were hesitant at all, I am tugging on your like sleeve and I'm saying you're going.
Excellent. Gia and Mio, what about you two?
Mio's attached to Gia, so
Gia is probably not going to go to the hospital. I'm sorry to say. It's the last.
Alright.
It's the last thing on their mind.
Then Gia, where do you go? Technically, you're still on the clock right now.
So,
oops.
given the extreme amount of stress and trying to avoid having to process anything that's transpired, she's probably going to try and delve back into her work in order to not have to think about anything after eating the pizza. After, of course, thanking Tony for the free food.
Mm-hmm.
Tony is amicable to the idea. It seems like there's a lot going on behind his eyes right now, but the majority of it is, well, if I'm the only person that knows anything and can help these poor schmucks, I suppose it's my job today. But when you and Mio head back to the side door, you find the manager, Mr. Chuckles, locking it up behind him, looking pretty upset about everything. And just as this happens, the police cars roll into the parking lot.
Oh boy.
Mr. Chuckles looks over and he goes, "Oh my God, that's where you were. Jesus, are you okay? Are you two both okay?"
Mio gives like a tiny nod.
Gia also kind of like clutches Mio's hand pretty tightly and says, and she's terrible at lying, "Oh, we're fine." Just a little shaken up. That's such an obvious lie.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you make a check for it because Mr. Chuckles does not believe you. But
Mio's got the fork in her backpack, by the way, if that's important at all.
oh, of course, yeah.
Mhm.
So Mio, you've now got the fork, and
What?
you have your doll, and they're both really important now. But coming around the back now, like around the back corner and heading around, is Janet Thompson, the assistant manager, and technically your current legal guardian, Mio.
Oh no.
Janet is not like her vision of a managerial position was not at like a popular children's party destination. She is a rule stickler, and like she knows all of the health and safety codes like an encyclopedia.
Oh god, I hate these
So-
people.
Oh yeah, well, because you know she's got to run the place and make sure that if health and safety comes in, they don't find anything that'll shut the business down. Because like it or not, she's the assistant manager of this place, and she's got something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mio, you said you put the fork in your backpack, right?
Yes.
What's your backpack look like?
It is just kind of like it's pink. It's pink in color. It's a little shiny, like kind of reflective, like a lot of part plastic, part clothy sort of backpacks tend to be. Probably got like a cartoon character on the back. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like got like Cardcaptor Sakura or whatever that was in the 80s or something.
Absolutely. Actually, yes, that specifically, but only because I just started reading it.
Well, Cardcaptor
it
Sakura
looks-
wasn't around. It was probably going to be like Cutie Honey or something.
Yeah.
It does look a little beat up, like almost as if it were a hand-me-down.
Aw.
That tracks.
Even older then.
Rainbow Bright.
So
Lisa Frank.
through the partially transparent plastic, you see Mr. Chuckles suddenly lock his eyes on your backpack, Mio.
Uh-oh.
And he goes,
It's a see-through? Oh, that's fun.
he goes, hey, what's that in your backpack there? What's that in your backpack there, little one? Did you take one of the forks from the restaurant?
She shakes her head no.
Why are you carrying around one of the forks that belongs in the restaurant here? He says.
It's not a restaurant fork.
No, isn't it? And
No, Mr. Tony said I could keep it.
I would like for the both of you to make. Oh, hang on. What's going on here? Heck,
Hey.
Wildflowers is doing a raid on us. Hello.
Welcome, Raiders.
Thank you so much for the raid, Wildflowers. Would somebody kindly shout Wildflowers out for us, please? That would be super rad. Thank you so much for it. I'm very happy for it. Welcome everybody. Welcome Raiders. If you need to raid and run, go for it. We do not mind it, but otherwise, please stay. We love new students. I would love for the both of you to make, let's say, let's say a spot hidden check for me, please.
Pog.
Hidden. Okay. Is it just a regular one?
Yeah, just normal.
Where is spot
boy.
hidden again? Is it
Your
in...
skills are largely alphabetical, so it should be in the main body.
Okay. Spot hidden. Oh, there it is.
Oh, wowzers. Do either
Oh,
of you want
boy.
to push your luck on this?
Oh my god. That's terrible.
So what happened? Okay,
It's
so
kinda
can you
bad.
explain to me pushing your luck again? How does that work?
When you fail a check, you can push your luck, which allows you to roll that check again. And if you succeed, great, you succeeded. But if you fail, there are worse consequences.
No, she's not really trying to search for anything right now. She's just like, why are you looking at me like that? Leave me alone. I'm not gonna
Okay,
push my
fair
luck.
enough
That's
then.
okay.
And how about you, Gia?
Well, Gia is going to be a little bit is going to notice the fact that her boss seems a little too interested in the fact and interested in insisting that she has a fork. Mio has a fork that doesn't belong to her, which. So yeah, she would push her luck in this case.
All right, show us what you've got, Gia.
So I just push the button again, right?
Correct.
Yay!
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
excellent work with a hard success. You note in your boss's eyes an almost like you know that scene from Lord of the Rings when Bilbo reaches for the ring and gets all kind of dark and pointy-toothed for a moment?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was crazy.
You see his eyes and face like darken a little bit, just almost like that, right as the assistant manager comes around the corner.
Gia's gonna immediately
And
put
she
herself
goes-
between. Gia's gonna immediately put herself between her boss and the child.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you step in between, and instantly, like, his face softens and he kind of shakes his head a little bit. And Janet Thompson comes around the corner and goes, "Oh my god, I'm so... Can you imagine how much trouble I would have been in if I couldn't find you after a man with a gun showed up?" And she stomps over and grabs your wrist, Mio. And she goes, "We have to get home before the police start asking strange questions. We don't want to be here for that." And as she starts to leave, one of the police officers that is not looking now at the dead body in the center of the parking lot sort of stomps over. He's got like his big aviator glasses on. He was a motorcycle cop and he's got like the helmet and everything. And he goes, "Now just a minute there, miss. We're gonna need to ask you a couple questions. Did you see what happened around here?" And she immediately goes, "No, officer, we saw nothing." And he takes out a little notebook and says, "Well, we're just gonna have to ask you a couple questions then, okay?" Smash cut over to the hospital.
Embarrassing.
So,
All the interns are gonna make
Alex
fun of me.
Alex and Peter, the both of you are currently being treated for injuries. Both of you can restore 1 hit point thanks to the first aid that you are given.
Okay.
Very fortunately, there is no concussion, and there is no like damage to the bone, and no like ruptured main arteries or anything. It was just a gunshot and a head bludgeoning.
Yay.
Only that.
Yippee!
Wow.
Lucky the two of you.
Yeah.
However, you are currently in the emergency room. Both of you are on beds in the same room, as it turns out.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, probably for the best,
Yeah, look
honestly.
around. Yeah, see if these glasses are pointing to anything else.
Would you make a spot hidden check for me, please?
Okay.
Are there any horses in this hospital?
Any posters of horses? Any some of those motivational posters?
Asking the real questions, I
All
see.
right. Alex, looking through these glasses, you can see that there are a couple sort of like, as you moved, you saw that some of the lines like faded out and new ones showed up and everything. And in the room that you are in right now, you can see through the open door into the hallway that there is what appears to be kind of like the kind of painting that you would buy from like Bed Bath and Beyond. That is on the wall, and you can see one of those lines going towards it. And the painting is like a almost impressionist, sort of like they commissioned the worst artist they could find to paint a picture of a girl sitting on a porch playing with a cat. And the line terminates on the cat.
Okay, so it's pointing to pictures of animals in general. Okay. I left the other one at the place, I guess, huh?
No, Tony grabbed the duffel bag and brought it with you guys.
Okay. I'm trying to take this off. Can I see the other one real quick?
So you have the spoon, you have the spectacles, and you have the plastic ruler.
Yeah, the rule is the next thing I need to check.
It is a transparent, sort of gray plastic ruler, up to 18 inches, with the inch marks in black.
Okay. I guess I'll try to measure something.
What would you like to measure?
Is there like there's like a small table, I assume. Is there like something small on that table I could grab? That one.
Oh yeah, on the table next to you. Yeah, definitely. On the table next to you, let's see, there is a small metal tray with like a couple, like forceps and like a bandage and that kind of business on it. It's maybe 6 inches long or so.
Okay.
How would you like to do the measuring?
Width-wise, I guess.
Okay. You pick up the little tray and you put the ruler up against it. Would you kindly use up a magic point and then make a hard power check for me, please?
Oh, yay. 14. Hard power. Nice.
Christ.
Boy, oh boy.
Well, I can push my luck.
All right, show us what you got.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're looking
We've
for.
been really lucky this game.
Well, I mean, kind of. One of you was shot, one of you was bludgeoned. But you know, it's, yeah, we'll call it lucky, let's say. When you put the ruler against it, the tray in your hand shrinks to half its size.
Oh.
Nice.
Like, in both directions, or just the width?
In both directions, like in all three dimensions. It was like you would estimate maybe 6 inches long, 4 inches wide. Now it is 3 inches long, 2 inches wide.
Okay.
Can you make it bigger too?
If I hold it up next to it again, what does it re-expand?
On subsequent taps, the ruler does not seem to do anything. The thing remains small.
So I'm just gonna put it behind something where no one can see it and whistle it simply.
You stick it behind a flower pot. There's like a little flower pot on the table next to you. About a minute later or so, you hear a clang, and the flower pot falls over, and the regularly sized tray pushes out from behind it.
Oh, excellent. That was like that when we got here, right? Look at him, Peter.
Now, Peter, you watched this just happen right now. I would like for the both of you to make a sanity check for me, please.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, sure.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
Excellent. Oh no, come on.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Alex, you've seen enough weird stuff today that this isn't that big of a deal for you. But like
This rest played all over me. This is not gonna phase me.
Peter, first of all, Peter, you can't push your luck on a sanity check.
Wasn't trying to, I just accidentally double tapped.
Excellent. Okay. But Peter, you watched the thing change its shape, and like you've had enough of this. Surely you must be like hallucinating or something right now. Go ahead and take 1 point of sanity loss. And at this point now, you get the urge to grab the stupid ruler and break it.
Me? Or Peter?
Probably me.
Peter does.
Oh.
So
Like,
So I-
no, this is not allowed to be. You want to break the thing.
Your existence denied.
dude, I mean,
You are close enough.
reaches for it.
No. Yeah. What are you doing?
Let's go ahead and make this some attribute checks then. Let's say, Peter, let's have the both of you, Peter and Alex, make dexterity checks for me real quick.
Okay, that's fine. I roll so bad
Oh my.
for that.
Boy, oh boy. All right.
I have succeeded one check in this.
By the way, everybody, don't forget any skill that you have succeeded on, you have to put the dot next to.
Oh,
Because we do the level ups at the end.
Oh, shoot. I've been forgetting to do that.
Oh.
Oops.
Oh, I guess I've only did persuade, huh?
Persuasion was correct, yeah. Well, if we haven't done it yet, then we will come back to it later. But in the meantime, Alex, you see Peter reach for the ruler a second too late. Peter, you grab the ruler and yank it, and the ruler flies out of both Alex's and your hands and into the hallway.
Bruh.
It clatters on the floor.
It's not kind of like measured the hospital, is it?
Just like in real life.
no, we cannot have any of this nonsense happening in the hospital. We cannot have that happen. This is not happening.
Am I well? Can I actually like get up, or is there like a bunch of stuff like on me?
I mean, you are like on your head. You've got like a cold compress. But I mean, you're not like restrained or hooked up to anything.
Okay, I'm just gonna go out and grab it real quick.
When you step out into the hallway to grab the ruler, you see a nurse coming up. She is maybe mid-30s or so, you would say. She looks vaguely familiar. Like maybe you saw somebody that looked like her at some point in passing. But this is the head nurse. Her name tag says, Head Nurse Emily Thompson.
Okay.
And she... meets your eyes and says, "Oh, you probably shouldn't be up and about yet. Why don't we just have you go sit back down, shouldn't we?"
I'm just I friend dropped something. If there's something out here, so I'm grabbing it real quick, and I'm just trying to go grab it. I'm not gonna ignore her.
Yeah, you pick the ruler up. It's easy. It's in your hand, and you are able to go back. She does sort of like try to usher you gently back into the hospital room.
Hmm.
And just goes, "We're still gonna need you to be here for another few hours to make sure that you haven't got any like symptoms of concussions or, any sort of hemorrhaging or anything. You'll be fine. You just gotta kind of hang out for a little while, okay?
Yeah.
Here, why don't we do this?" And she takes the remote control for the television and flicks it on to the popular sitcom Married with Children.
No.
Oh no! I
No.
immediately turned that off.
Oh yeah, primetime entertainment.
Emily, that's appreciated. You don't need to have that on.
And she goes, "All right, well, you can change it to whatever you like." And she sets the remote down next to you, Peter. And she goes, "But now I shouldn't see either of you out in the hallway again. You have to wait until we discharge you. You know this above everyone else, Peter. Try to keep your friend here in line."
I
Dang.
nod, kind of embarrassed.
And she leaves. You have the ruler back again, at least. You still have something of a grudge against that ruler, by the way, Peter.
I'm keeping it out of Peter's reach, by the way.
Can we at least change the channel? Can I switch it to
Yeah.
the news?
Yeah, absolutely. When you switch it over to like the Channel 4 news, it's like KCNU, Northridge Local News, and it sort of like pans through a couple things, like, oh, the weather tomorrow is going to be sunny, etc., etc., and then it goes to our top story tonight. A body has been found in the parking lot of the local Chuck E. Cheese. The cause of death is undetermined, but I'm being told we don't have any photographs that we are allowed to show on air. It seems that something has happened there that was very intense. Police are currently investigating. More on this as it continues.
More at
What do you think
11.
what do you think the chances are one of those police officers are about to come into a hospital room?
Likely.
And with the kind of irony that belongs in 1980s sitcoms.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes!
Laugh track.
Plot device.
The head nurse comes back in and says, "Now, you two, I know that you're in the middle of recovering and everything, but there's a police officer here to see you, to talk to you about something.
Okay.
I have deemed that you are of a sufficiently recovered quality to be able to talk to them, but should they bother you, just go ahead and push the call button, and I'll make sure to shoo them away."
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Smash cut back to the Chuck E. Cheese.
Corpse.
The Chucky corpse.
Yeah, there is a news van there now, and the police have like covered up the corpse with a like a black tarp, and they've put the police tape all around the whole area. But Mr. Chuckles, his assistant manager, Gia, and Mio, you have all been ushered back into the front area of the Chuck E. Cheese where the pizza kitchen, or the pizza restaurant is, and are all now sitting in a booth with the police officer. He's taken his helmet off now and has set it like just on a table randomly, with the police officer standing at the end of the table. He's got his notepad out and he's been asking some questions. And he turns over to you, Gia. He says, "So, Did you see anything?
Man, Gia does not want to be here. Unfortunately, she's also easily intimidated by authority figures. Yes?
You mind telling me what you saw there then, little lady?
So the black did you say it was a Cadillac or just a sedan?
It's a sedan.
The black sedan rolled up, and a well-to-do looking man came out of the car and immediately took out a gun, and he started going towards the Chuck E. Cheese's, and then some people from the restaurant came out to try and stop him. And
Do you know who those people were?
No, I do not.
Would you
Any
kindly
names?
make a persuasion check?
Okay. Where's my persuasion?
Show me what you've got.
Everybody was so traumatized we forgot to do introductions.
But we totally did. We
Generally don't know who we are.
Who's this sassy lost child?
uh,
Lost child.
am I using persuade? I'm using persuade, right? Not persuasion.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, well, this is lovely.
Don't know who we
I
are.
I intentionally gave myself a 10.
Incredible.
Wow.
Wowzers. All right, don't forget to put your dot on that one.
I did.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm impressed. That's very good. He sort of like narrows his eyes for a moment and he goes, okay, what happened next then? And you spend the next few minutes sort of describing this situation. What version of the story do you tell him?
I definitely do not tell him that the guy's head just happened to explode. Instead, I lie and say that he, in the ensuing fight, when they're trying to get the gun away from him, he ended up shooting himself. I also obviously
right.
leave out everything about Mio and the fact that the guy was trying to go after her, etc.
And there's can you think of any reason why he might have been coming this direction?
I don't know. I have.
At that point, Mr. Chuckles sort of like pipes up and he goes, well, I mean, he's crazy. He has to have been crazy, right? He's going to a place where there are lots of people so that he can kill them with his gun. This is why we need fewer of those in this country, I swear. And then the policeman looks at him and gives him the biggest eye roll. And he just goes, yeah, whatever.
Chuck E. Cheese is trying to take our guns away.
Oh boy. Yeah, the story goes on. Mia, what are you thinking about when this explanation of the story is happening? And do you say anything either?
She will not speak unless like somebody talks to her directly. She's been kind of eyeing between Janet and Gia, because like on one hand she's like, okay, weird stuff's happening, but I had my doll and I had Miss Gia here, and now everything's okay. Like it's cool.
Aw.
But now Miss Janet's here and she's mad.
That makes complete sense, yeah. Janet, who, by the way, the entire time has been, like, chewing on the end of a Chuck E. Cheese brand novelty pencil.
She got the 5 tickets, hey!
Gia is just gently squeezing Mio's hand during this whole thing.
Yeah, like Mio definitely looks like she looks scared, but anyone who looked at her would think, "Oh my gosh, she's so scared because there's the corpse." It's like, no, she's scared because Miss Janet is a little bit upset. she's like my mom / teacher / something is cross. That's never good.
Yeah, I mean, it's uncomfortable, right? The Janet, who, by the way, sort of like sets the pencil down and she goes, "Officer, if there's nothing else, I'd very much like to be allowed to go home. This has been incredibly traumatizing for all of us, including my kid." And she sort of like gestures wildly. And she goes
to the child.
Yeah, she just goes,
Casually-
including my kid over here.
Casually gestures
So-
to child.
So, if we're all finished, I'd very much like to be able to leave and, have you get out of my establishment. The policeman, sort of like gives her a little side eye for a moment and goes, "Right, well, if anybody remembers anything else, I'm gonna need you to call the police department. You can ask for me," and he sets down his card. The card is for Michael Allen. He is a... yeah, Michael Allen. He's a deputy officer, etc., etc. And he... and he folds up his book and he goes, "All right then, well, get home safe, but maybe use the other side exit to the parking lot, because, we've blocked this whole place off over here. Get home safe, all of you." And you see Janet just kind of like pinch the bridge of her nose and she goes, "Gia, do you mind taking care of Mio for the night? I'll pay you an extra 100.
Gia, who currently only has about $20 in her pocket, apparently, cannot say no to that.
Just make sure she gets to school tomorrow, like, on time or whatever."
Man.
Narrator, and they will not get to go to school the next day on time. $100 in the 80s. Yep, I'm taking that.
Yeah, I mean, that's no laughing matter when it comes to cash, so, But yeah, she, like, gathers up her stuff, sticks the key into the door as the policeman walks out, locks it, and then makes a sour face at him, turns around and goes, "Right, everyone leave, I've got stuff to do before I can go home." And you see Mr. Chuckles reach down and pick up a briefcase with a prominent padlock on the top of it, and he says, "All right, we'll see you tomorrow then, assistant manager." And Janet just kind of like makes the sourest face and goes, right, whatever, get out of here." Mr. Chuckles leaves through the back door and gets into his beat-up Honda Civic and heads out. Gia, what kind of car do you have?
A bike.
Let me check to see if I even have points. If I even have points here in driving. I don't remember if she has a car or not. At 19, it might have been.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a good question.
actually, vehicles were pretty cheap back then, still, or at least compared to today.
Yeah.
So, drive auto. She has 20 in that. Oh my god, that's low.
Well, like, that skill check is meant for if you're trying to do something stressful with it, like drive up the side of a mountain at night.
Oh.
For just driving a car, you don't need to make a check, because it's a thing that people can generally do.
She's probably going to have the sort of cheap, affordable car that would be common to a college student at the time, especially a college student who has to work part-time and can barely afford college as it is. So
1968 Ford Pinto or something.
probably something like that. Either that or were Japanese cars affordable back then, or was it American cars that were? Something.
I don't.
Something
yeah, it was
ancient.
American cars that were generally easier.
All right. Yeah, we'll go with a. What does a Ford Pinto look like?
It's a garbage banger looking car.
Where does it run?
But does it run?
I mean, it runs.
Oh my god!
Oh boy, does it run!
I just looked it up and it kind of looks like a sports car. That's kind of cool.
What?
I'm gonna say yes. To hell with it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you were lucky to find a used one for a reasonable price. And when you get into it with Mio at your side, you head back to your dormitory apartment. Where do you live?
We're gonna say she lives in a dorm.
That tracks.
Guess.
Fortunately,
Gonna need a guest
you
pass.
are in the female dorms, and there are significantly fewer female students, which means that your double room is actually single right now. The other
Excellent.
half of the room is meant to be left open. For if a new roommate shows up in the middle of the school year or whatever, but for the most part, it's basically a private dorm for you.
Like,
Pog.
You head yourself back that direction. Alex and Peter. The policeman sort of like sidles up, turns a chair backwards, and does the Riker sit on it. And he goes, "Is everything okay with you two? I mean, looks like you were pretty knocked out, kind of bad there."
Yeah,
Could be worse.
yeah. I didn't get shot, so I can't really say I feel particularly bad. Look at Peter.
Well, I think all things considered, only one person shot is pretty good numbers for that, huh? You want to tell me what happened?
Meg,
What version of the story do you two tell to this police officer?
is he gonna say it like that?
I think just kind of like I think kind of like we were leaving from our the restaurant over there, not mentioning Tony's weird behavior or anything like that, and we noticed a guy with a gun heading into the thing, and he
try to
looked
talk him
unwell,
down.
and I was hoping to get him to the hospital. We tried to talk him down a little bit. You can see how well that
reached it-
went.
Yeah. I tried to reach for his gun. He hit me upside the head with it.
Yeah, no, that
Thankfully
makes
jammed
sense.
before. Thankfully jammed before he shot me. When he
Yeah.
cleared it, he shot at Peter.
I think I'm going to mention that he seemed to be on some sort of drugs or something along those lines, and that he collapsed. In
Okay. Do you mention anything about the weird black eyes?
No.
If
I
Alex
don't.
isn't gonna mention it, I guess I won't either.
Okay. The policeman kind of like he's making notes as he goes, and he goes, "Did he say anything to you?"
Just that he was running out of time, and
Yeah, he's running out of time.
yeah, he didn't seem like he was all there.
I think that from the conversation you were saying, it feels like someone was after him. Kinda. But
Did he say anything about who would be after him, or like why he was doing what he was doing?
He was kind of panicked. He wasn't really making much sense to begin with, so I don't even know if someone was actually after him or not.
I see a lot of this sort of thing, and I don't think.
And then the policeman leans back and he goes, "So, where'd you get that duffel bag?" And he points to the bag that is sitting on the stool next to Peter and Alex.
We pick that up.
That's
You want to tell me something about that?
I don't know. Trying to figure out how to word this. Okay. No. No. Just stuff like that. I don't really. I don't
Reason that
remember.
duffel bag interests you?
And he goes, because it seems like that might be something that would be interesting to know about. You didn't pick up some random strange things from inside that bag, did ya?
Would be an incredibly foolish
No.
decision.
With my, can I like sneakily press the call button?
You can certainly give it a shot with a skill that you think is relevant here.
Sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand seems like the right choice here.
Okay.
The cop is really scrutinizing you hard. Let's make it a hard check.
Okay.
My kind of
Oh,
interjections.
come on. I'm gonna
my
push my luck here.
Am I distracting at all with my interjections?
I-
Can it help?
You know what, Peter? You want to make a persuasion check in addition then?
Sure.
This is going to be hard as well. And then, yeah, Alex, you can push your luck.
Nice.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, come
Ooh,
on.
boy. Peter, you start to try to, like, catch his attention a little bit more. And Alex, your hand sort of slowly creeps down for the call button, but the policeman kind of, like, stands up and kicks the cable, and the call button clatters to the floor. And he
Yeah.
goes, "You would be very wise to tell me what things were in this bag and where they are now."
Oh. And I wasn't interested in anything in the bag. Seemed to be perfectly honest.
Do not try to play games with me when this is the sort of prize on the table. And he reaches down and plucks the police baton off his belt.
Oh boy.
Yep, we're in America.
Patient.
If you are going to shout about it, then yeah, definitely. The policeman looks back just as the head nurse rounds the corner. She's got a full IV bag of saline solution in one hand and a metal like lunch tray in the other, and she meets eyes with the policeman and slams the bag against the side of his head.
Bruh.
It
I'm looking for the
bursts.
win.
The bag bursts and soaks him with salt water.
Nice.
And then she takes the tray and pushes it up against him and forces him out into the hallway. He's kind of disoriented by this. She slams the door shut and then jams a chair under the door handle and then hits the alarm button on the wall.
Wow, all right.
She turns back and she goes, "I was listening the whole time."
Oh boy.
Emily? Emily, what do you know?
Hey, Emily.
Oh, no.
Emily.
Death
Oh, no.
flag.
No, don't say that.
No.
She takes a big deep breath, and then you start hearing the gugh, gugh, gugh. I'm gonna put a bullet through this door if you don't open it. Gugh, gugh, coming from outside. And she moves to the side of the door, and then she goes, I know who he is, and I know who he's working for. And if you two are mixed up in all of this, then you're just as bad into it as my sister is. We've got to get you out of here.
I look at the door. Is like, how do you suggest that?
She looks at the window,
Yeah.
which opens out into the open air atrium.
Which floor are we on?
You are on the ground floor.
Oh,
Oh,
Good.
thank.
The somewhat imposing structure of the Northshire Regional Hospital looms against the otherwise relatively low skyline. It's got like a sort of red brick wall facade covered with a layer of English ivy that seems to have been put there maybe accidentally. The architecture itself is kind of like a blend of modern design and classical elements, and it's got this sort of like central greenery atrium surrounded by tall windows that will give patients like you a view of a little well-kept garden of temperate plants. The building itself is a kind of U shape, and you are close to the entrance to that U shape. If you could get out of this window, you might be able to get out into the parking lot and away.
All right. I'll get up, dust myself off. Grab the bifocals and the ruler.
You see Emily watch you grab those items specifically, and she goes, "Oh wow, you've got that many."
We have
All right,
another
well.
one. It's not with us currently.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about this. Don't even mention these things at all. We are going now. And she grabs
Okay.
a crutch from like the cabinet in the corner and thrusts it under your shoulder, Peter, just as there is the sound of a gunshot against the door outside. The alarms are ringing.
Can I like swipe some of the pillows from the beds and
Okay.
like put them beneath
Beneath the door or beneath the bed or
window.
what?
the window?
Oh yeah, I mean the window, like it's a 3-foot drop at most.
Oh.
Fair enough. Never mind.
Yeah, the three of you scramble out of the window with perhaps a little bit of effort, and disappear to one side just as you hear the of the door bursting finally open. But you also hear the noise of police sirens beginning to approach as well. Emily looks back and forth and then kind of takes like a deep breath, and she goes, if they're making their moves already, then this place isn't going to be safe.
To go back, can I clarify something?
Of course.
Alex picked up the ruler and the bifocals. Are the spoon and the pen elsewhere, or was that in
The pen belongs to Tony.
Okay.
The spoon was still in the bag. If you wanted to have swiped the bag, you totally can.
I would have liked to have done that.
I thought we already took it out. I figured we left it, or I gave it to somebody else.
Nah, Tony stuffed everything back in the bag. Tony
Okay.
was very
Yeah, no, I was-
vehement about the idea that he did not want any more of these things.
Okay, then I would grab the bag as well. I was mistaken. I thought.
Yeah, okay. So you guys have the bag with all the stuff in it then.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Emily digs in her pocket, pulls out a set of car keys that when she like looks around and she goes, "That's the one. It's the blue Honda right there at the end. That's my car. I swear to God, if you scratch it, well, I guess it doesn't matter at this point anymore, does it? Just drive. Go to St. Dionysius Catholic Church. I'll meet you there if I can, but if not, don't leave until tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Just
I
find a
have
place
to,
to
like-
hide."
Will you be okay?
I mean, I don't have any of the stuff that they're looking for. Thank the stars I never got my mitts onto any of those. But I have to get to my sister.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You say.
Listen, I've been hearing this horrible person's name for years now. I don't want to deal with it. So if we can get you out of here and keep you safe and keep everyone that he's after safe, well, that's my job as a nurse, isn't it? Now go.
All right. I slide into the driver's seat.
Oh, good. 'Cause I don't know how to drive.
Oh, good. I'm not terrible.
You also have an injured leg. Would you make a luck roll for me, please?
Oh God.
Sure. Great. Love that. Where's
See
my
which
luck
leg
at?
it is.
Success.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, you got the exact success. That's wild.
I
Yeah.
roll high, but
All right. You are injured in your left leg. Your right leg, your driving leg, is perfectly reasonable working. And you get in, you turn the key, and you floor it. The St. Dionysius Catholic Church is in a relatively residential area. And it is in this sort of neighborhood that the Northshire Community College's dormitories, technically dormitories, they're actually just shared apartments if you ask the housing bureau, but the Northshire Community College calls them dormitories because they're technically off campus. This is where those dormitories also are. And Mio, as you and Gia sit just finally gathering your wits about the day again, you sit down next to the window of the small kitchenette. You see the screeching blue Honda kind of into the parking lot of the St. Dionysius Catholic Church, and two familiar-looking fellows get out. One of them has a crutch. The other one's got a cold compress still tied to the side of their head.
Are we in her dorm? I'm confused.
Correct. You guys are in the dormitory, which shares a parking lot with St. Dionysius Catholic Church.
Okay,
This is why Gia is allowed to look after you, because you are close to the church.
Nice.
Nice. Gia sees
Alright.
this commotion outside and she's immediately like, oh my bleep god.
Alright.
Mio covers the doll's ears.
Yeah, when you put your hands on either side of the doll's head, that kind of weird grinding, crunching noise catches your attention again. Yeah. Alex and Peter, you have arrived at the church. The doors are open. This is the type of Catholic church where they don't really lock the doors because they're always sort of waiting for parishioners and people coming in for sanctuary and that kind of business. It's a very old school sort of church.
Yeah. So we're still in hospital gown, right?
You guys weren't put into hospital gown. Well, no, that's not true. Peter, you were put in a hospital gown. Alex, you were in your normal clothes.
Oh, this is
Okay.
so... Not my highest
Come on,
power.
Peter. I'll put like arm under Peter
Actually,
to try to like move Peter faster.
yeah. Before we leave the car,
Yeah.
is there any like, shopping bag or blanket or ready bag or anything like that that's maybe belongs to Emily that we could potentially put things into instead of the recognizable duffel bag that we have?
Would you like to make a luck check for me, please?
Sure.
Show us what you've got.
No.
Nice.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's. I mean, there's like a small plastic grocery bag from Vaughn's, but it's like, bottom of the car style, has holes in it and that kind of business.
Yep. All right, fair
Yeah.
enough.
You do see, however, sort of wrapped up in a like a little bundle, a set of hospital scrubs.
Sorry.
Or
I
we can
take
put
them.
those. We put those on late. Are those even gonna fit, Peter? That's a good question.
I rolled really high for size, apparently.
Yeah, you're a bulky sort of gentleman, but they are drawstring pants.
The pants will fit you, so your butt won't be shown.
Yeah, if I could slide these pants on, it would make my day go like so much better than it is right now.
That tracks, yes. You slide into them. They're a little bit tight around the hips, but for the most part, you can make them work. And the two of you, start going towards the front open doors of the Catholic Church. Mio and Gia, you both see your erstwhile earlier companions from the day start storming towards the doors of the church.
What are they doing here? I thought they went to the doctor.
Something tells me the doctor's visit did not go as planned. And somehow I think
Gia,
Sorry, go on.
your dormitory's landline rings.
Well, that's not spooky at all. So, at this point, now it's already been obvious that Gia likes watching movies. So even though
Yeah.
she's doing her best to ignore and deny the facts that magic exists and all that crazy shit just happened, she is starting to fall into that situation of, gee, this series of events almost feels like something. And you know what they say about, how in horror movies, how there's always seems to be a mysterious phone call put in there at some point. And she
Ring.
wasn't expecting any phone calls today.
Ring, ring, Gia. Do you pick it up or do you leave it?
She looks at Mio and she says, Mio, does anyone else know that you're staying with me?
Why isn't my mic picking up? Unless Miss Janet told Mr. Harold, but I don't think so.
So Gia looks at the phone, and I guess remind me, I don't think they had caller ID yet, or caller ID was invented yet in 1980.
No, they do not.
No.
If you're scared, I can answer it. I know how.
I like that one.
That was perfect, but no, honey. Tell you what, I think that, and I am not a Christian. I am actually something called a Buddhist. However, in the interest of in the interest of assuaging this terrible headache I'm feeling right now, how's about we go to a quieter place away from this storm? She's also kind of kicking herself in the back, being like, "This is so ridiculous." And at
There's
this,
like crickets chirping because it's already quiet.
I guess so.
she is like having the worst time of her life right now. She's like, in the back of her head, she's like, "This is so bleeping stupid."
Mio's just chilling, like,
But at the same,
Mio's just chilling at this point because like all feelings of danger and unease are gone because Miss Janet's not there, Mr. Chuckles isn't there, the guy's dead, everything's fine. Why is Miss Janet freaking out? Why is... At this point, Mio's like
It's okay. We can go if it makes you feel better.
just the fact that someone else agrees with her that it's not stupid to leave the room and to go to the church, if only because of watching movies, makes her feel a lot better. Right, let's go to the church.
All right. The two of you find yourselves also out in the parking lot. So here's the situation. Alex and Peter just peeled up into the parking lot and like slammed on the parking brake, got out of the car. Peter put on a pair of pants, and then Alex and Peter start like going with purpose toward the front doors of the church, when suddenly from an apartment-looking building in that same parking lot door, the door opens up and out come the very same two people that Alex and Peter just had the day of all time with. Alex, Peter, you see Gia and Mio come out of that door, as if this day could not get weirder.
Does the Spider-Man pointing meme.
The phone continues to ring in Gia's apartment.
I just heard a phone ring in the background sound effects. I don't know if that's intentional or not.
oh, that's perfect, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I heard it as soon as...
Cosmo, are you doing that on purpose?
It's not terrible.
I'd be good at things.
I
Oh my gosh.
also, I know I already mentioned that they're gonna head off to the church, but can I have Gia bring a bag of tools with her, or is it too late now?
Oh yeah, no, of course. Like, you've got your tool bag that you set down by the door, like, when you got home. It's easy to pick that back up.
Alright, she's taking that with her as well.
For sure, for sure. Okay.
And
The four of you meet in the parking lot, and for a moment there's like a kind of stunned, confused silence before the church bell, as it does every night at 9 o'clock, rings. Boom, boom, striking 9 times. There is a 9 o'clock late mass for those particularly devout people who nevertheless have to work during the day. And a few people today are there. You see a couple, like, sort of elderly folk coming out of nearby apartments and kind of shuffling toward the church. It might not be difficult to blend into that small crowd. And the four of you shuffle into the church building.
Mio's over here like,
Follow me. I know how to get through these guys.
this ain't my first rodeo, I've been here before, these are my streets.
Once the four of you are inside, the doors are closed behind you, and the organ music begins playing. Mio, you know where the, like, rooms that people are not in during services are. And you lead your new friends, as well as your old friend, into one such room.
This room is really quiet, so Miss Gia won't get a headache.
And then she turns to the two and goes,
My name is Mio, and this is Millie.
and she holds up the doll.
I forgot to tell you earlier. I'm sorry, I was a little bit rude.
When she
Oh,
holds
she
up the
talking-
doll, Alex, something makes sense. That same sort of feeling that you have when you're holding those other things. When you look at that doll, you think, oh, I want that one. I want that one too. And you shake it off just briefly, but no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Gentleman in black with the gun? He said he was looking for something. He only had to find one more. There were already 3 in his bag. That doll must be another one.
Yeah. So, anyways, we gotta divvy these up. But it's nice to meet you. And Pat, I guess, Mio's head?
Mio.
Mio's head? And Millie's as well? If Mio will let me.
No, as soon as you reach for the doll, she like pulls it back.
Okay. Alright, fair enough. Anyways.
So, how are we going to divvy up those items?
I have a good understanding how each of these work. The ladle lets you, or the spoon lets you see when it's spun into a thing. Dry substance, it lets you see into the past, I suppose. It's very weird. The bifocals seem so far to lead you to paintings or portraits or pictures of animals. And the ruler lets you make something smaller for a little bit, but they go back to normal size after. I think whatever you measure against has to be smaller than the ruler, otherwise the hospital we were in where it became smaller. At least I assume that's how it works. Huh?
So that does not sound pleasant.
So, Peter's the oldest of us, yeah.
Mm.
Team
By a significant amount.
Team dead.
I give the bifocals to Peter.
Pog. Excellent. Boomer.
Here's your glasses. Here's your glasses, Grandpa.
Oh, that's amazing.
You mean that wasn't intentional?
And
Oh,
I'll
excellent.
hand the spoon to
To Gia.
Gia?
Yep.
Gia.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
When each of you have these items, holding them in your hands, there is a sort of palpable feeling of power, almost. Mio, you watch as the three adults, the three old people in the room,
Freaking boomer.
are like playing with these things, and they get the same kind of look as what Mr. Chuckles looked like for like a 10th of a second.
I think Mio saw that.
That's true, you weren't looking. Never mind then. I didn't say any of that.
I didn't see that. She's just like, adults are weird.
But what you do put together is that if these weird items are important, you've got one too. You got that weird fork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a cool fork. Suckers.
I have a cool spoon.
Wow!
We just need a knife.
And that's why I gave that's why I gave you this.
Amazing.
Spoons of power. The silverware of power.
That's right. The cutlery of the mages. The room that you are in is like a kind of like storage room. It has like large sort of glass corked bottles of what appear to be red wine. There's packages of like vacuum sealed sourdough looking bread. So it seems like you're in a place where they're probably not going to need anything from it for a little while. And it's good, because the exhaustion of all that's happened is starting to set in. Outside the door, you hear the church doors open once more. And a voice that kind of cuts through the boring, droning hymns that says, "They have to be in here. We'll just wait for them to show themselves."
Okay.
And the music stops, and you hear the priest sort of like cough and say, "Can I help you with something?" And then that voice again, "No, no, my apologies. I am nothing if not patient." And then and the last thing that you hear before the music begins again was a parishioner. "Hey, did that look like Herbert Constanlow to you?"
Uh-oh.
The music begins again. And that, my friends, is where we will end today's first session of Pulling at Stitches.
Yeah.
Queen and
Yeah.
suffering drama.
Oh wow.
I remember that name
How are
now.
you guys doing? Are we doing okay?
We're doing
good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so intrigued.
I
by
used to
what's
see it
gonna
on like one skill, so
Yeah, so speaking of skills, let's go ahead and do some of those skill level up rolls, shall we? Let me pull up the rules for how those work. We go this thing, and I'm going to make sure that I'm not telling you things incorrectly. Let's see here. We need this one. Bloggity blah. Skill rolls. No, that's not the right one. We want... Don't know where it went. So let me just pull up my notes then. Go ahead and when you have a dot next to that skill, just make a roll with that skill and try your best to fail.
Ayo.
If you fail it, you can increase that skill by 1%.
I failed.
Hey, hey.
Watch me succeed now. Okay.
Amazing.
How do I increase the skill?
You go into edit mode in your character sheet and just change the number directly.
I
Wow.
used
Yeah,
anything
increase it by
that I
1?
succeeded in.
Correct. Increase it by 1.
Wow.
Okay.
I gained
I
skills
got
in
an
spot
extreme
hiding.
success on the
One
roll.
whole point.
Oh yeah.
I'm very pleased with this so far. How are we liking it? Is everyone having a good time so far?
Mhm.
Yes.
Very much so.
Amazing. This is the first episode, so it is setting the groundwork for a lot of stuff. The next 3 episodes, I have a significantly smaller script of monologue to do, and a lot more of it's going to rely on what you guys are doing. So we'll see how it turns out. But in the meantime, hey, congratulations on Cross for your soft debut. I'm very pleased with how that's turned out. Hey, everyone in the classroom, we all enjoyed this, didn't we?
You bet.
I'm very pleased.
Yeah.
No one died.
Did you have a good time? Do you have a good time on your first time doing the stream, Cross?
Yeah, I did. Thank you very much.
I am very happy to
Yeah.
have found a way to finally bully you into starting.
Pog.
Amazing. Let's go ahead and do our outros then. Nano, what are you doing next, and where can we find you?
Okay. I'm actually, as long as I could get home in time, I will be playing Kingdom Hearts with my friend this evening at roughly 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I say roughly because I have no idea when I'm going to be home. I've never actually played Kingdom Hearts before, and my friend is an expert, so I'm like, he's my shoulder buddy while he makes fun of me for losing at Kingdom Hearts. It's great.
This is going to be one of those sessions then, huh?
I just got out of Wonderland. That's where I'm at right now. I just got out of Wonderland for the first time.
Pog.
Amazing. Boy, oh boy. Man, and this is Kingdom Hearts 1?
Yes.
The good one.
Oh, man. Nano, you've got like 25 games to go through if you're going to play this entire
I'm aware.
franchise.
I've seen enough video essays where I know what to expect, but at the same time, I have no idea. I don't like driving the gummy ship. It makes me upset.
Why?
Listen, I don't know why. I don't know how to drive the gummy ship, and it took me half an hour to learn how to dodge. Leave me alone.
Yeah, no, I feel that so hard.
Gummy ship is like the second worst part of that game.
Oh wait, no, I don't even have dodge yet, because that's not a thing you could do. You have to get the. Listen.
Yeah, you basically.
Anyway, yeah, I do Twitch things and I do Twitter things. But yeah, I'm doing that tonight.
Excellent. Well, if you all are still around, go and bother Nano then in a few hours. In the meantime, what about you, Lulz? What are you doing, and where can we find you?
I could be found at twitch.tv/lulztime, and actually at 7 p.m. tonight, which is around a little less than 5 hours, I'll be doing my first Helldivers 2 collab, which we've named Chill Divers. So that's gonna be fun.
Chill Diver. Yeah, I saw the poster that you made for it, which is exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. What is Helldivers anyway? Like I see that it's a sequel. What kind of game, like, even is it?
The original game was a top-down kind of twin-stick shooter style game, but Helldivers 2 is more of a horde mode style game in the same vein as previous games like Earth Defense Force and like Starship Troopers. But it's a very specific kind of horde shooter game because unlike games like Killing Floor, the way these games are designed the expectation is pretty much that you will die unless you work together, and your odds even in lower difficulties is extremely low otherwise. And all of them are pretty much heavily inspired by the film and the book Starship Troopers. And Helldivers 2 is no exception. It's extremely satirical of both fascism and also the living in a grimdark universe where everything is trying to kill you, a la a la Warhammer. And
Warhammer 40k, excellent.
Helldivers 2 in particular is, I found, to be fairly good on the aspect of friendly fire is always on, so a lot of your deaths will be
Christ.
from other people. There's this cool thing where the actual campaign mode is being hand controlled by a developer who watches social media and watches how people react to the game and changes the difficulty and the access you have to like items and stuff accordingly.
Oh, jeez.
So there's like this whole thing where you might have seen some memes on social media talking about Malevolent Creek being lost. And that was actually a thing because we got to fight the bugs first and they were fairly easy to deal with, right? And when they introduced the robots, no one realized it at the time, but they intentionally made the robots difficult. So even if you were playing on easy mode, people still lost games en masse on purpose. To simulate the feeling of fighting against a force that you can't actually win against, or at least not very easily. So when people have those memes where it's like playing a space version of Vietnam, or where it really feels like you're in the films, it really does feel like that, which has led to some hilarious clips and a lot of rage. So as you can imagine,
excellent.
so the collab tonight, I can imagine it's going to go swimmingly.
It seems like the type of game that I can see you having a great time in, lols.
I'm doing my part.
Oh, Christ. Hey, Lilith, what are you doing next and where can we find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv, live_Belmira. I'm not gonna be doing any streams until later next week because I'm getting a new PC.
New PC is always good.
Yes, inexpensive.
Hey, listen,
But,
if it's a PC and it works, then that's all that it needs to be, right?
Yeah. It's definitely a big upgrade from my current one, so I'm
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we will be looking out for when you are back on the grind. At the very latest, you will be back here again next week.
Yes.
Wonderful then. Okay. And hey, Cross, what are you doing next, and where can we find you?
I'm probably just gonna get bullied into trying to figure that out.
Okay.
In terms of what I'm doing next. As for where I can be found, I have a Tumblr, crossplanar cleric at tumblr.com. Yeah.
Excellent.
And I technically have a Twitch, but nothing's on it. So that's how that works.
Well, y'all should go and follow Cross on Twitch anyway, because it would be great to have some followers right when the ball begins actually rolling.
Yeah. Y'all follow Cross.
Amazing. I'm so pleased. This is very good today. And of course, I'm me. You can find me here where I am. I'm Cosmo Bergamot on everything. My next stream on Wednesday, if the stars are correct, should be another Castlevania Aria of Sorrow stream. So we'll see how that turns out. In the meantime, though, I'm very glad that we had the opportunity to do this thing, everybody. Yeah, let's see if there's someone on Twitch that we can collectively send everyone toward. Lulz, do you have any people that you want to do?
Let me see. There's a few people actually did go online during the course of our stream.
Oh no, Mecha's playing Fortnite. We need to go and make fun of Mecha for playing Fortnite.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna raid Mecha TVVA.
We need to make fun of her using a fork and a knife.
And a spoon.
And a spoon.
This is the part where I disappear, actually. I have to go to my sister's improvised birthday party.
Oh, excellent. Go and tell your sister that a bunch of strange people on the internet said happy birthday.
Indeed.
All right. I've been so hyped for this thing since like October. You don't even know.
Yeah,
But I'm
we've been
excited
trying to
for-
get this thing off the road, or like off the ground for a really long time.
Mhm.
Pog.
I'm excited for next week.
PogChamp.
So excited.
There.
All right, guys.
Amazing.
I will
Alright, well
see.
then,
I will see you later. Have a good day.
Oh my god, the voice. Goodbye, Nano. Thank you for coming and
So
hanging with
good.
us. And as for everyone else, let's
Bye.
go ahead and head over to Mecca. Here we go.
See y'all tonight.
Bye.
And we're mute. Excellent work. That was very good, you guys. I'm very pleased with that.
I'm glad.
Thank you so much. Did you have fun?
I hope that. Oh man, like I've been.